The police and Spectrum Cable are looking for whomever has been cutting the fiber optic and cable transmission lines. They believe that the vandals believe there is copper in there, when in reality there is little to none. But Spectrum says thousands of dollars worth of damage has been done, and it could mean people who have the phone service can't communicate during an emergency. A $25,000 reward is being offered for info that leads to an arrest. If you were caught in the traffic on Highway 58 this morning east of Tehachapi, the California Highway Patrol says that was a fatal wreck involving a semi-truck. It was just before 8 a.m. that truck crashed into a center wall, killing a person inside. That person has not yet been publicly identified, and the reason for the crash hasn't been determined. The average price for a gallon of regular in California is now down to $4.38 per gallon, still the highest in the country, reports Gas Buddy. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think, this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get a post like this. Little bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be viewing. For those subscribing on YouTube, it's the Ralph Bailey Show. On a Wednesday, 10th day of December, Chris Burdick is producing the show, and a busy one it is yet again. We've got some court news we're going to get to, the trial of Maya Hernandez, the woman who left her two children in a scalding car in the middle of summer. It continues. There's some new information the KGET is reporting. I'll pass that along. And then at the first break, Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors will join us, as expected. Jerome Powell announced this morning that he is dropping the interest rates. We'll get Daniel's Reader's Digest version today and then speak with him in depth tomorrow. And then at the bottom of the hour, Police Chief Greg Terry was on the KGET 17 this morning, and I was very proud of Laura Holcomb, the new girl. She asked some really tough questions, and the ones we're going to focus on is the response to the Manuel Robles alleged murder, the man who shot, allegedly, his wife in front of their children after getting into a scuffle with his 15-year-old over one of the weapons. We'll hear from the outgoing chief, and it's a Wednesday, so Howard Marcus will be here at 4 o'clock. And then coming up in the 5, we're going to talk about NIL. What is NIL? Tell them what NIL is while I sip on whatever this is in my cup.
That would be name, image, and likeness, which is what these college athletes across the board, not just football players, but college athletes are being paid for nowadays.
Well, the folks at Kern Community College District are trying to bring it to Bakersfield College, and Chad Hathaway is going to join us along with one of the athletes. And have you seen the video?
Which one are we referring to?
It's the video. The video.
And I'm going to say no because I have no idea what you're talking about.
The plane that landed on a car on the freeway in Florida. Oh, I sent that to you?
The video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, let's run the package. Yeah.
Okay, give me a second. I got to see if I
can. No, we're doing it in the 5. We're doing it in the 5. Relax. Okay, cool. But yeah, 27-year-old we find out that it was an instructor flight. And I'm sure at least half of you have seen the video by now. And if you haven't, you'll see it tonight. But this plane is coming down. They lost, and I think it was either a fuel pump or they may have just simply run out of gas. I doubt that. I bet it's a fuel pump. But anyway, and you see him coming down, and there, you've got to remember Harrison Ford landing on a golf course, a course that I played in LA. You got to find something level and flat. The Sully on the Hudson, something level and flat. And the only thing near was the freeway, I-95 down in Florida. And they land on an SUV being driven by a 57-year-old woman, and miraculously, everybody walked away. The woman had some injuries, but you got to find out whose SUV that is, because that's a great commercial. And our SUV can even stand a plane on top. And then you show the clip of the plane coming down. You haven't seen it?
I watched a little bit of it earlier today, but
I mean, it
haven't seen the
comes
whole thing.
right down on the top. The wheels of the plane hit the top of the car.
That's got to be crazy.
And then the woman comes out. She's 57 years old, and she's all like, "What happened?"
The bird hit me?
Yeah. And she walked. Well, she had injuries. They took her to the hospital. But the two people in the plane walked away from it. We'll get into that. And I got some other miscellaneous news and notes. There's $930 million up for grabs tonight if you're in the Powerball. Although, as I like to say, you have a better chance of being eaten by a shark in Lake Truxton. Almost literally. You know what the odds are? 1 in 292 million.
Dang.
Yes, it's up against you. You literally have a better. This is what the reporters are saying. You literally have a better chance of being hit by lightning or being eaten by a shark. The odds of that happening are greater than you winning the lottery.
Wow.
Yeah. But you're going to buy a ticket anyway?
Yeah, probably not right now because stuff is tight due to the holidays, but any other time of the year, probably. Never know.
I don't know what the hell is in my cup, but it's damn good.
Well, it's also the wrong cup again.
No, I intentionally stole
Oh, you
somebody's
intentionally
cup.
took this one?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I didn't know how much tea was. I was running late, dude. I almost missed the show.
Actually, now that I think about it, you were really late today.
Yeah, I fell asleep at like 1 o'clock, and I woke up at like 2:30, and I still had to go by Komodo and get my antibiotics. As you can tell, I'm a little under the weather. That's why I didn't go in the Randy studio. And we do have some in-studio guests, Mr. Hathaway and the athlete. I was giving a little fist bump, trying to stay away from him.
Elbows.
Yeah. So I didn't think I had time to go to Starbucks. So what did I do, Chris?
I'm going to assume that you just grabbed some stuff from here in the Keurig?
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Uber Eats.
Ah, smart. Okay. So you Uber Eats while you were on your way here?
Uh-huh.
Smart. Okay.
And it arrived right before we went on the air.
Medicine ball?
No, see, that's the thing. That's why I don't know what the hell's in my cup, because the Uber Eats options are like, for hot tea, it's like 3. And I got some chai latte with cinnamon.
I wonder if you put it in the description, though, that you want a medicine ball, if they'll make it for you.
Well, some have notes and some don't. Being the Uber Eats veteran that I am, there are some where you can say, I don't know how they determine who gets the notes and who doesn't. But yeah, some of the restaurants, you have notes like, please, I don't want, because there's some place that I go that they always do something wrong and I always send them a note. I can't remember. But yeah, so you only have 3 options. But it's damn good, but it's not, because it's got cinnamon, a little nutmeg, maybe give me a little buzz. Because I haven't had well, let me shut up. I haven't had any THC in about 96 hours, and I haven't had a cocktail. We're going on 2 weeks with no drinking. This is a Bailey record. I know that's nothing to be proud of. 10 days without a cocktail?
Baby steps.
I have no intention. It's not like I'm trying to stop drinking. I just have no taste for it. You know what I'm saying? But we begin in the few minutes I have before we get Dan and Petrie in here to tell you about the Maya Hernandez trial that's going on. They had some testimony from some of the folks who were working. Remember, let me go back and start. Maya Hernandez is a young woman from Visalia who came here to come to one of our lip fillers, or what would you call that place, Chris? A salon?
Yeah. I don't know if there's a specific name.
Right up here on Real Road, actually, right down the street from us. And it was a busy day. It was 104 degrees. And she left her kids in the car, despite the fact that the people at the shop told her, and she initially asked, can I bring my kids in? And they said, yeah, absolutely. And yet she still came in without the kids, left her car running with the air conditioning on, thinking that would be all right. But these new 21st century cars cut off after an hour of no activity. And so the district attorney's office or the cops via the DA's office replicated the situation where they took a car like hers and left it in the sun approximately the same time. And from 3:10 to 4:15, the temperature in the vehicle went from 80 degrees to 114 degrees in the vehicle. Another woman testified that she came outside because Hernandez, according to the witness, left her wallet in the car, and she said, "I'll be right back and pay." And she was gone quite a while, so the woman thought she was trying to skip out. So she went outside to check on her, and she was holding Emilio Gutierrez, the boy that died. And she said that she wasn't panicked, she wasn't crying, she wasn't screaming for help, which hurts the defense, in my opinion. And that she said, "Bring him in, let's let a nurse take a look at him." And she said at that point he was all red. Yesterday, the reporter for 17 reported that the boy was blue, but the witness claimed that he was all red. And the nurse said that he had a temperature she had never seen before in her life. His temperature was 107. That is a cruel, cruel way to die. In 114-degree heat, strapped in a car seat, and you boil to death. Almost literally. 107. I'm beginning of thinking of changing my opinion. Earlier this week, I said that I thought that the DA's office may have overextended themselves by going for second-degree murder because there is no intention. Although that was a victory for the defense today. According to 17, a pathologist testified that the pathologist believed that it was, in fact, accidental. That torpedoes second-degree murder and lends more to involuntary manslaughter and obviously child cruelty. But this thing is going to go on for another week or so. And I mean, there's no question she's going to be found guilty. It's a matter of what are they going to find? Second degree, which would possibly mean life in prison for a 20-year-old. We'll keep following it for you. I'll tell you what 17 is reporting. They are on top of this thing. Let's go ahead and take our first break of the day and come back and talk with our money man, Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. He'll give his Reader's Digest version on Jerome Powell's decision today and how it impacts you and your wallet. Bottom of the hour, Police Chief Greg Terry answered some questions on 17 regarding Manuel Robles, the man accused of shooting his wife to death in front of their children. Howard Marcus at 4 o'clock. The lawyer for the man who drank 33 cocktails and was subdued and shot up with medication and pepper sprayed speaks out. They have a wrongful death suit against Royal Caribbean for over-serving him, and he's made a George Floyd reference as the defense attorney. We'll get into that. And in the 5 chat, Hathaway and one of the BC athletes will join us, talk about NIL and how they can bring that to Bakersfield College, to your kids and your grandkids. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a cold, cold Wednesday afternoon right here in Bakersfield on News Talk 96.1, AM 1180 KERN, and we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
What?
On the Thursday edition of the First Look program, I will continue my list of excellent reasons why I should be the next chief of police here in Bakersfield. We've got another
You're supposed to
story
be on
of
the
drunks
show?
on cruise ships. You never tire of those. We've got news, we've got traffic, we've got weather. Right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on the World Wide Web at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Norma Diaz, owner of La Rosa Fruit Bars and Ice Cream.
Hi, I'm Norma Diaz from La Rosa
Hi.
Fruit Bars and Ice Cream, and I'm a client and friend of Paul Sheldon. I've known Paul for many, many years, and my parents happened to be his first clients.
Oh,
So, of
yeah.
course, I called Paul and immediately felt this peace come over me, knowing that I didn't have to
Yeah,
freak out
fucked
about
up.
making a big decision.
Fucked up.
His knowledge about Medicare and your health insurance needs are beyond compare, and I was taken care of immediately by his wonderful staff. He knew everything that I needed and what I wouldn't need, so I was pretty much in and out of there in record time. If you're getting to that age where you're going to be needing to know about Medicare, then he's the one to call. He will totally help you out and get you pointed in the right direction. You're going to leave there feeling a great accomplishment and no concerns. And even if you have questions later, his staff can help you out. Those feelings are just priceless to me. So call Paul. You'll be glad you did.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
My Patriot Supply, America's most trusted survival food company, wishes you and yours a very Merry Christmas. As our gift to you, we've got an amazing deal on survival food kits. Buy one, gift two. That's right. For a limited time, when you grab our best-selling 4-week emergency food kit, we'll include 2 one-week kits free to hand out as gifts. That's 4 weeks of emergency food for you, and 2 ready-to-give gifts for anyone on your list who's into preparedness, or anyone who needs a nudge in that direction. But they're only available for a limited time. Grab yours at mypatriotsupply.com and give the gift of food security this Christmas. With 2,000 calories per day, 16 delicious meal and snack varieties, and up to 25.
How does my mic sound now, guys? Is my mic better? Anybody? Anybody? My mic better? What's up, Ralph? Go Drillers. Coming in clear. Okay, good.
Side of the road, stop by Kern Oil Change today and travel with confidence this holiday season. Kern Oil Change has 2 locations to serve you, 3706 Coffee Road and 5651 Auburn Street. Kern
milky.
Oil Change is open.
It's milky.
See, but the stuff that'll heal you is always nasty.
No, that's not. I mean, it's tasty, but it's milky.
Oh,
So I'm going to have flatulence all night.
true.
I'm lactose intolerant. And it's thick. I needed hot green tea is what I needed.
Wait, you're lactose and you still do creamer in your coffee?
Yeah, doesn't bother me.
Weird. Okay, cool.
I don't put that much.
True. Actually, you're not like JR who douses it, so.
Yeah.
Wars, where Christmas fun, light, and sweetness comes to life. Only at Wars, 2700 Callaway Drive.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
There has been an amendment to the lineup. In other words, I screwed up. Chad Hathaway and basketball player James Miller are going to join us right after we talk to our next guest. And maybe we'll replay it at 5 since I told you some people may have left and thought we were going to hear Chad at 5, but we're here right after we talk with Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Ralph. What are you playing around with the schedule there?
Well, no, I'm just sick and stupid and didn't look carefully at my communications and thought I booked him for 5 and I booked him for 3:30.
I'd say that's typical, Ralph, but that'd be unkind.
That would totally be unkind, even to
And I
suggest such.
I wouldn't do that.
That's mean. Come
I
on.
know.
Take
What,
it
you
easy
got a
on the
cold?
brother. Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah, pretty bad. And I had not
no.
called in. I was just telling JR, had I not called in sick last week, I'd probably be in bed right now. But I hate missing work.
Well.
It's the
I
only
hope
good
you feel
quality.
better.
Only good quality I got from my dad, my work ethic. Because my dad was, how Magic Johnson always talks about his dad, and he worked for GM, and he never missed a day of work in 30 years, and they gave him this big award. That was Pop.
Yeah. The only time my dad, when he couldn't get out of bed, I didn't see him go to work. But if he could crawl, he was going to work.
Yeah, my dad never missed a day of work. And he was rarely sick.
Yeah, they were different.
They were different. And this was much to his chagrin, if you ask me, because that's why I think he passed away. He was at work 2 weeks after he had 3 heart attacks.
Oh.
The third one was fatal. After his second heart attack, he was back at work in 2 weeks.
Yikes.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. But we've got to talk about Jerome Powell and his decision. Why was he flip-flopping? Why did it seem like they weren't? Because you've been telling us he was going to do this for months.
Yes.
And then there was like a period a couple of weeks ago where it looked like he wasn't going to do it, and now he did drop rates by a quarter. First, let's ask why. How does this impact most of us?
Well, obviously, with most of us, it makes borrowing cheaper. It does help stimulate spending, which helps stimulate the economy. You could argue that it also artificially stimulates the economy because, maybe Ralph wouldn't have built this project, if rates were higher, and just because they're lower, nothing else has changed, but he might be able to do it now.
Right.
So, and I think both sides kind of got, in other words, he lowered rates, but they were both dovish and hawkish.
Explain, please.
Yeah, hawkish in the fact that they kind of, basically, I think only one more cut is priced in next year. And I think for a while it looked like, we're going to get a cut and 2 or 3 more cuts the following year. So you could argue that was kind of hawkish, although I'm sure depending on what the economic data comes in, that may change because, of course, the market likes to look ahead. And it was also dovish in the fact that they said they're also going to start buying back T-bills. So they're going to, basically that floods the money with system because to buy the T-bills, they have to put cash in the bank to buy the bills. So if banks have more money, aka they can lend more money, and if they lend more money, then people are doing things with that money. Building projects, just spending it, doing whatever it is they want to do with it.
Okay.
So, but other people, there's always, you could argue that is also inflationary, that's exactly a terrible idea.
That's what I was just about to ask.
Now, one would think, well, where do you go to look and see if there are weird pressures or inflation building in the markets? One would look to silver and gold, correct?
Yes.
Ralph, silver is sitting just under 62.
Shut up.
Silver has been flying.
It doubled almost?
It's well, I mean, maybe since we started talking about it, but it's been very volatile, but it has been rising, pretty good.
It was in the high 30s, I think, the last time we spoke. It was about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look.
Was it?
We were in the 40s a few weeks ago.
Okay.
We were hanging around the high 40s, low 50s, but, back in July, we were in the 30s.
That's what I thought.
Sitting at 42, a little over 42. Not quite near the highs, but so both of those seem to be indicating that maybe there is trouble on the horizon.
Oh.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've talked about this, but I saw a news flash that we commandeered a Venezuelan oil tanker.
I did see that. I've not talked about it, but I did see that. What? Let me put your political hat on. What is his end game with Venezuela? Is it regime change at the end of the day?
It seems that way.
It certainly does.
But I don't understand why he just didn't come out and say that. I mean, it's like, we don't like what they're doing, we're going to get rid of them. And I mean, that to me would help get rid of them. Instead of this, well, we're not, we are, we're doing this, we're doing that.
We've got our finest aircraft carrier steaming its way there, or it's already there off the coast of South America, and another bunch of destroyers and whatnot. I don't understand.
Maybe he's doing it because Russia and China. Maybe he's doing it a way to get at them. But I don't know what the end game there is.
Yeah, well, I don't get it either.
I was going to ask you. Do you? I mean,
no, I have no hypothesis. I didn't know until this morning that inflation at 3.0 is right where it was when Biden left office.
Wow.
I didn't know that till this morning. And the president has a right argument that, you know, it was 9.1 at one point, and we're trying to bounce back from that. But after you've been in office for a year, you can't just simply put it on the prior administration. Most Americans feel like you've had a year, you should have been able to straighten it out.
Right.
But we'll see.
Well, and the tariffs really kind of screwed everything up.
Absolutely.
And the effect of that.
Yeah. We will get into this in depth tomorrow, but I appreciate you taking the time and giving us the Reader's Digest version.
Not a problem. Hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Have a good show.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye, Ralph.
Chad Hathaway joins us next.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Donald Trump says the United States has seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela as tensions mount with the government of President Nicolas Maduro. Using U.S. forces to seize an oil tanker is incredibly unusual and marks the Trump administration's latest push to increase pressure on Maduro. The Federal Reserve reduced its key interest rate for the third time in a row Wednesday, but signaled that it may leave rates unchanged in the coming months. Chair Jerome Powell signaled at a news conference that the Fed would likely hold off on further rate cuts in the coming months while it evaluated the health of the economy. A good day on Wall Street as the Dow was up by 497 points, the Nasdaq rose 77, the S&P advanced 46. More details at srnnews.com.
Is not being released publicly yet. California's gas prices are falling, but at $4.38 on average for a gallon of regular, according to Gas Buddy, the prices are still the highest in the country. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Constipation with belly pain keeps coming back and back and back. If your symptoms keep coming back, talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C. Linzess could help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Thursday edition of the First Look program, I will continue my list of excellent reasons why I should be the next chief of police here in Bakersfield. We've got another story of drunks on cruise ships. You never tire of those. We've got news, we've got traffic, we've got weather. Right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on the World Wide Web at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning, 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox. News Talk 96.1 at AM 1180 KERN.
What's on her? James Smith, you're on the basketball team. What position are you on? 842-5376, 842-KERN. Coming up Top of the hour, Howard Marcus will join us. We'll get into Police Chief Greg Terry's interview on Channel 17, where he responded to the situation with Manuel Robles, the man who allegedly killed his wife in front of his 2 kids after his 15-year-old son fought him for a gun. Then he picked up an AR-15 and, well, what's wrong? Oh, there you go. Get us all in the shot. That right there. Oh, you had it. You had it. Go left. Right there. Oh, you had it again. Right there. Right there. There you go. Oh, it doesn't stay? Well, slide over this way. Don't get too close to me, but slide over, bring the microphone over there. This is James Miller. He is a basketball player at Bakersfield College, and you all know Chad Hathaway talking about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and Project 1913. Chad, it's good to see you, man.
See, man.
Haven't seen you in a long time.
Sorry, not feeling so well.
I know, it sucks.
Yeah.
So whenever it gets cold,
It's cold as hell out there.
It really is. I haven't seen it. This is one of the coldest winters I've seen.
It's just miserable.
It really is. I mean, no sun and 40 degrees. I put my golf clubs in the damn closet.
I saw homeless people playing golf down the canal down there. Right there by the off ramp. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Tell us about 1913.
You know, we're a local group of 4 businessmen. Me being one of them, started a collective for Bakersfield College. It's the only junior college NIL collective that exists for the sole purpose of a JC in the United States right now.
Wow.
So, about last summer or so, we thought, what can we do to help Bakersfield College? What can we do to help bring in athletes, to pursue excellence? Really thought, we have the best junior college facilities in the country by far. We have the best community in the country that supports junior college anywhere. I think there's no town that compares to Bakersfield when it comes to the support of Bakersfield College. So we thought, how can we make a difference? And with the new world of NIL, which is like every year in NIL is like dog years because it's changing and evolving every single year.
Yeah.
And as much as you like it or don't like it, it's here and it's here to stay and it's law. So we thought, okay, we obviously can't make a big difference in a big environment. I'm a member of the collective where I went to school, but I thought this is a great opportunity and my partners did too. And this is what we did. We started it, and we've got about 10 athletes now under contract at Bakersfield College.
Really?
Yeah, and considering we started in July, and now we are halfway mid-season, we had 6 football players. We have 2 basketball players. We have James here, and we have Danica Tolentino. And it's ironic, I'm a football player, and my other partner is a football guy, and half our football guys got hurt. But we got a great 2 basketball players right now. We have a women wrestler, we had a men's wrestler as well, and then we've really just started this thing off, and it turned out really well. I mean, the impact that it makes on a young student athlete's life is phenomenal. It's the difference between coming here and not coming here. And NIL for the JC world, just to set this record straight, it's not glamorous. I mean, James isn't driving around in a Lamborghini or anything, even though he will someday. But I mean, we're doing it to help cover the gaps, and these kids are participating with media events, with marketing events, and it's really substantial what a difference between a student athlete and a regular student, how well they perform in school. So I've got some statistics here. The graduation rates alone for student athletes is about 14% higher than the average student at BC. This is specifically at BC.
Really?
Yeah. So we know that being a student athlete, you're being forced to go to class, not forced, but if you're committing yourself to a sport, you're committing yourself to your academic life too.
Yeah, you've got somebody looking over your shoulder, your coach, your advisors, as opposed to the other students that don't have that.
They don't have that. They also don't have there's motivation involved.
You don't let your teammates down. You don't want to, flunk out, and they need James Miller, and he's home because he didn't get the grades. There's definite motivation there.
Yeah, especially somebody like James who came down from Fresno and made that step to come down here. And what I've really enjoyed about this is talking to the parents. The parents like, hey, they're getting ready to send their child away. We had 3 kids from Athens, Georgia, and it was a big deal to ship their kids across the country, especially if they didn't financially have the means to do it or understood where they're going to be staying and what they're going to be doing. And what we've done with 1913 is we've enabled players like James and some of the other players. We have Danica. Danica is a perfect example, who's our female basketball player, leading the team right now. BC women's basketball is 8-3 right now and doing incredibly well with almost a full stack of freshmen. And they've done incredible. She was a second string player out of Ontario Christian in Southern California, and she was a backup point guard, and she came here. Obviously, second string at the #1 school in California is pretty dang first string, pretty much anywhere else where you look. So I think she's a great story. The way they interact with our partners, our partners that participate in 1913 for from advertising, for media, for social media promotion, that kind of stuff. She's been phenomenal, and James has been too. James done a few videos for us. We have a housing partner that we work with, but the collective as itself, or being able to do this for Bakersfield College, has been, and I'm a business guy, and I really enjoy this. It's an agnostic thing. It's not right. It's not left. It's like it's a great opportunity. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to have athletic excellence. We believe in what winning does for a successful program or successful school. And the previous president of Bakersfield College, we've got a new president now, but one of the things he said to me at the very beginning of this was, I can have the best math department in the country. If I have the best sports programs in the country, everybody's going to know about it, and nobody's going to know about math. So this really, I think, helps build the foundation for that thing, for excellence, and that's really what we're hoping to accomplish.
Yeah, and for the folks that don't really follow sports, NIL became an issue because for decades these athletes were making millions of dollars for these programs, particularly the bigger schools. And, there was always the argument, well, you're getting an education and you're getting free books and free room and board, but these kids were making tens of millions of dollars. And obviously we've gotten into the television era in the 21st century. The numbers are astronomical. And finally, they've made the move to reimburse these kids. How do you choose the athletes? How did you pick James Miller?
Well, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. The coaching staff obviously has people they're looking at, and so there's really specific rules that apply to what a coach can say and do, and what I can do through a collective. So if, say, a coach has 5 or 10 people that they've identified as somebody who's potentially a good player, we can communicate with them to that extent. But when it comes to the transactional nature, a coach can have nothing to do with that. And it's different. It's like NCAA rules are a lot different than the California Community College Athletic Association rules.
Right.
So unfortunately, the California Community College Athletic Association is light years behind the NCAA. NCAA, there's great collaboration. They can communicate a lot more. Now we kind of got to look across the room from each other and give each other smoke signals, more or less. But we get a hint and we get an idea from coaches on potential players, but the coaches can't have any kind of involvement in a contract negotiation. It's not pay for play, it's pay for services. And so when we say James every month has to submit a social media posting or have us prepare one for him to submit to help build our network. And that's kind of how it has to work. So we get a lot of feedback from coaching staff.
Wow. And James, how's this been working out for you?
It's been going real good. It's the reason why I'm out here. I wasn't really going to come out here, but they reached out to me and helped me out with my situation, and now I'm living comfortably, and I could just focus on the sport that I love.
Yeah. And where do you want to go with this, with your basketball career? Are you trying to get your degree, or you think you have a shot maybe transferring to a larger school and maybe getting into the show?
Yeah, with basketball, I want to go all the way. My dream is to go to the NBA, but right now I'm trying to focus on getting to a larger school.
Yeah, that's outstanding. It really is. But you need help.
We do. And it's either partners with the community businesses or partners with nonprofits. We've got a lot to offer, and these kids are all incredible kids and have incredible stories. And so 1913 1913.com is our website. It explains everything about who we are. One of actually James, if it wasn't for Hall Ambulance, they were a big contributor to the basketball program at BC and through 1913. And I think a lot of people too that don't want to just give money to just a blanket foundation or something like that, and can see their money go to the direct benefit. We communicate really well with our contributors, our donors, and so we give them weekly updates. We keep them updated with the kids that they've sponsored, and they can see how they progress and what they've done. And in fact, James, he probably never knew he was going to have to film a video of himself moving into Bakersfield, to tell that story, but he did. And so a lot of our players have done that. But it's great. I mean, we really, the people that originally helped fund this, me and my partners essentially, and then also, a great group of people, all care about BC, and they all want BC to be the best. And It's cool. I mean, it really is special. It means something to me that they came forward and they did so in a big way in such a short period of time.
How can folks help?
You can go directly through 1913.com. We have donors or give $10 a month to $25 a month. Skip a Starbucks here and there. It's going to go directly to kid. You can earmark your funding to where if you want your money just to go to golf, we even have a rodeo tab. We have men's and women. Every sport is broken out. You can specifically donate to that particular sport, or you can give the general fund, which helps support all of them. And so it's all done through the website. We have merchandise there as well. Stephen Nicholas here was sporting our sweatshirt when I walked in. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all web based, and so we made it simple.
Yeah. Why 1913?
That's the year BC was founded.
Oh, I figured.
Yeah. And we started out. We had a really high power. We hired the guy that runs the collective at Florida State, and then we had another advisor that ran Penn State and Boston colleges. So we had a great foundation. We put this together because we didn't want to do it wrong. And we actually, I feel like one of my partners is a lawyer, and so we've gotten more into NIL than most people know. And it's been a real good experience. It's fascinating how much this changes and how much law exists out there on the books. Like you said, they make not BC, for example, but at the Division I level, these programs, these kids are making millions of dollars for this school. Yeah. And there's been several laws passed saying you have to enable these kids to do this.
Yeah.
And California's the same way. So,
Chad Hathaway, James Miller, our guest. Did you ever see this coming? When you were in high school, did you ever think you'd be an NIL guy?
Not really.
No? And was this the tipping point for you to come down from Fresno to Bakersfield?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where were you thinking about going?
Well,
Were you heavily recruited?
No, I wasn't very heavily recruited. I just was in a situation to where I couldn't come to Bakersfield.
Yeah. Well, it must be doing well. Some nice earrings you got in your ears there, Jackson. So it must be going well. Get the website out there again and let folks know how they can help out.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, get the website out there. Where do
it's
they go?
1913.com.
19 written out.
Yeah, written out.
And then the numeral
spelled
13.
out, then 13.com.
Yeah.
1913.com.
Yeah. You are, as I like to describe, one of those people who bust their hump to make our community better. You really do, Chad.
Thank you, sir.
That's great work that you're doing. James, good luck. Where are we in the season?
We're about to head into a conference, I think, after the holiday.
Yeah. What's your record so far?
We're 6-4, I believe.
Yeah. Now, how are you doing personally?
Personally, I'm running the point guard pretty solid, but just need to be a little more aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah. How many? Give me your stats. They're sitting right here in front of me, but you tell me.
I average like 7 points a game, about 3 assists a game, with 2 rebounds, shooting, I think, around 25-30 from the 3.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. That's not bad. Well, good luck, young man. It's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting
you. Again, some nice diamond again. Bling. Always good to see you, Chad. Keep up the great work, man. Quick time out. Howard Marcus joins us at the top of the hour. Come back, check the board, see what you all are talking about. And we'll get into the case of the man who had 33 cocktails on the Royal Caribbean. There's a wrongful death suit, and the defense is using the name George Floyd. We'll get into that. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Wednesday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KRN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com. Yeah. He had 33 drinks.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
And they pepper sprayed him.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
I'm tired of
waking up and hearing another case of DUI. We just had the Madison Williams case where she was guilty. We have another trial going on where a 6-year-old was killed. Now again, I'm hearing an 8-year-old is dead because of an alleged DUI. Something needs to be done to fix this.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Yeah.
It's that
All
man
right,
again,
appreciate
Ralph
it.
Bailey for
Nice meeting you,
Segura
Tom. Good luck.
Subaru with an announcement. It's time again for the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event. Buy or lease the new Subaru through January 2nd, and a donation of $325 will be made by Subaru to your choice of 4 national charities like Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, the ASPCA, and National Forest Service, or local charities Honor Flight Kern County, Global Family, and the Daughter Project. Right now, at Sangera Subaru, you can lease a 2025 Outback Premium CVT for only $239 per month for 36 months and $4,800 due at signing. You get a new car plus donate to charity. It's an absolute win-win. Don't miss the Subaru Share the Love event going on now at Sangera Subaru in the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
January 2nd, 2026. Lease 2025 Outback Premium CVT model code SD-11 for only $239 a month on a 36-month lease. $4,800 due at lease signing plus tax and license. 0 security deposit. 10,000 mile year limit. 15 cent per mile overage. MSRP $36,506. VIN number S3331256.
And we're back. Another
Yes, we're
commercial
back.
for California Fruit Depot.
Cal Fruit Depot.
First, it needs to be said that a lot of listeners are complaining that you're not pulling your own weight on these commercials.
Wait, this is a 1-minute podcast. I'll lead with that. Now back to you.
If you're wearing a jacket and you're hearing this commercial, come on out to California Fruit Depot. Come on out and see us.
Not Christmas.
Oranges.
It's a jacket special.
Dates, shakes, smoothies, all those things. They're available.
What
Come
else
on out.
do
You
you
can
have out
ship them to family and friends all over the country.
Shipping available.
Another thing I like to talk about is getting a jingle. We need a jingle.
We do need it.
All musicians, bands. Hey, if you got AI capabilities, send us an AI commercial
Submit it.
for California Fruit Depot. Has to be radio friendly.
Depot.
Got your citrus. Got your nuts.
And you know what it is?
Come
It's
get
my
some
partner.
dates. Come get
It really
some
is.
dates.
Send your
Just like-
jingle
no,
to
it's just like the
citrusjinglecontest@gmail.com
windows.
and come out to California
Yes,
Fruit
'cause
Depot.
I've got
Google
those
us for
roll-out
directions,
windows, so
or
you
you can
can't
visit us
really-
online at
the foot
calfruitdepot.com.
of my, the head of my bed
Must qualify
is
for
right up
enrollment.
against the
Results
windows.
may vary.
Attention! Have
I'm
you
like,
racked up $10,000 or
freezing.
more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making
Freezing.
minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-399-7272. 800-399-7272. Again, that's 800-399-7272.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
There is no need to watch the bridges that will burn.
842-537-6842-KERN. Love me some Chad Hathaway. He's a good dude. He really is. And like I said, he's one of, I like to call, with air quotes, those people who just really spend a lot of their extra time doing things, making this community better. And Chad is one of those guys. He really is. 842-537-6842-KERN. You got anything?
I just got one here. It says, this is not good that they keep lowering interest rates. They are killing mine and my kids' money market accounts with their rates going down.
Okay. Should have called in when Daniel was here, or call in tomorrow. I don't see how that works, but I know very little about money and things of that nature. I really don't. Nothing else left on the board. Did you see that? Huh?
Right now.
Shohei Ohtani, AP Athlete of the Year.
As if anybody deserved it more.
I can't see anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
And when he wins it next year, when we three-peat, he'll be the first athlete to win it 5 times. Can you name the 3 athletes who have also won it 4 times?
I know 2 of them for sure, Tiger and Lance Armstrong.
Ooh, that's the hard one.
I know. I'm trying to remember LeBron?
Yeah, that's the easy one. I didn't think you'd get Lance Armstrong, that piece of crap. Isn't it crazy how he turned out to be just a no good?
You know, it's funny because I
dirty
look at all four
dog.
of those men, and I'm like, all four of them have their issues in some way or another.
What's Shohei's issue? You know, they're making a movie out of that.
Are they really?
They are. You can't stop it. What are you talking about? He had nothing to do with it.
He's connected to it though. He's always going to be connected to it just solely because of the guy. I'm not saying he did it. I'm just saying he's connected to it. It's like LeBron. LeBron doesn't technically have anything off.
I think LeBron. No, there are too many connections to this basketball thing.
See, but
and
we
LeBron.
can't say no to Shohei if we can't say no.
There was one guy, his guy, but LeBron's got like 4 or 5 guys, his old agent, and there have been some funky things that have been going on in sports.
Oh yeah,
some funky things that I didn't even realize, like the Raider game. Did you see that?
Yes, and actually I mentioned that.
I have never seen that in my life.
That's exactly what I said.
The Raiders were down 10 with not a remote chance of winning, with less than 10 seconds left, and they got a late hit penalty, a personal foul penalty, that took it from like midfield to, what would that be, the 35?
Roughly, yeah.
And Pete Dye.
Pete the Dragon?
Peter May, who married my first girlfriend and owns a restaurant on Ventura Boulevard.
Peter Pan was my next one.
Ooh, nice. Who am I talking about?
You were talking about Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll sends in the field goal unit. The spread is 7.5. They kicked the field goal. Everybody that had the Raiders won.
Now, someone type me
with absolutely no opportunity to win. And he kicked it at the end of it, like literally as the time was running off. There was absolutely no reason to kick that field goal and the reason that it caught my attention, you don't know how many times
that's a bad beat, man.
In my gambling life, I've been like, just kick the field goal. Just kick the field goal, but they're down 14 and there's no reason to kick the field goal. And they're down on the 10-yard line and they just go for the touchdown and they just take a knee. But there's some funky things going on in sports. There are a couple of basketball games that were kind of funky. And
well, the Pete Carroll thing, that's what I'm saying. If someone can tighten me up, I'm pretty sure he's done that with the Seahawks before too. I'm pretty sure before he was
field goal with 3 seconds left on the clock.
That. Yeah, and it was like everybody said the same thing. Like, why are you doing that? That doesn't make any sense. This isn't college where it matters what the score is if after you lose. So
there's a video of a guy. I don't know why these people. How narcissistic do you have to be to set up a camera to watch you watch sports? But there's a guy that did that, and he had who'd they play?
They were playing the Broncos. Are you talking the Raiders?
Yeah, they were playing the Broncos.
I'm pretty sure they were playing the Broncos. Yeah, past weekend.
Okay, I can't remember. It doesn't matter. And he had the Broncos, and he's like, no, and he's like, oh, he made it, and he's just having a fit. There's something funky.
I saw Dave Portnoy go in on this. Like he wanted Pete Carroll investigated and
on the
arrested.
Game. Yeah,
because he was like, that's got to be the bets. Like, there's no way you just do that. And it was perfect where it just beat the over under. Like, and I think the spread at the same time too. So that's like, there's a lot of fishy things with that.
Very suspicious. Very, very suspicious. But congratulations to our star. And now that we've got the finest closer in baseball, Edwin Diaz, we're going to go 162-0.
Did you see Pete Alonso left too this morning?
I didn't see who he signed with, though.
Baltimore.
Really?
Left for the Orioles, $155 million.
So there you go. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear how we buy baseball players because Steve Cohen, the owner of the Mets, is literally, he's got more money than the Guggenheims. And he could have easily kept Pete Alonso in New York and opted not to. So don't complain to us because the Guggenheims are willing to spend their money and Cohen is not. You don't let superstars walk out the door.
True. Alonso, though, was pretty fed up with playing with the Mets at the end of last year. And Diaz apparently left because they signed the Yankee closer, Williams. He wasn't happy about that.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. He wanted a 5-year deal. He only got 3 from the Dodgers, but he got a lot of money.
Because they offered him more money than you guys did, but because of that, he said no. And obviously the shining recommendation from his brother.
LA is a wonderful landing spot because you go into it knowing, okay, I'm going to win the division. I'm going to get some playoff money. And I most likely are going to, before I leave here, have a ring. And I get to live in Brentwood or Calabasas or Beverly Hills or the Marina del Rey. 79 degrees yesterday in LA. It's a big allure. It really is. And I get to play with Shohei Ohtani, Mookie, and Freddie. Quick timeout. We can run up the hill. Howard Marcus is next. I can't drink this.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says the U.S. has seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
The president announced the vessel's seizure amid mounting tensions with the government of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
We've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually.
U.S. officials say the tanker was seized by the U.S. Coast Guard with support by the Navy. On Tuesday, the U.S. military flew a pair of fighter jets over the Gulf of Venezuela. Greg Clugston, Washington.
A judge has ordered President Trump to end the California National Guard troop deployment in Los Angeles.
A federal judge orders the Trump administration to stop deploying National Guard troops in Los Angeles, granting a preliminary injunction sought by California, with the state calling it a victory. But the judge put the decision on hold until Monday. In June, the president deployed thousands of troops to L.A. over Governor Gavin Newsom's objections following violent protests. California officials argue conditions have changed and troops are not needed. The Trump administration says the Guard is needed to protect federal personnel and property, and that they look forward to ultimate victory on the issue. I'm Julie Walker.
The Federal Reserve reduced its key interest rate for the third time in a row Wednesday, but signaled that it may leave rates unchanged in the coming months. Chair Jerome Powell says the Fed would likely hold off on further rate cuts in the coming months while it evaluated the health of the economy.
All depends on tonight.
Wall Street liked what it heard. The Dow was up by 497 points. The Nasdaq rose 77. The S&P advanced 46. More at townhall.com.
Hi, everyone. Super Bowl champ Vernon Davis here from Legal Help Center. If you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, listen up, because we have legal professionals standing by right now to answer your questions for free. You can find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. The call is free. The consultation is free. And you can speak with a live agent right now. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident of any kind, call now to find out if you have a case and how much you could potentially get.
Thanks, Vernon. You heard it, folks. If you've been injured, call and find out how much you qualify for. Call 800-504-8790. That's 800-504-8790. 800-504-8790. Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
A surveillance video of the waiting room. I'm Chris Davis. The jury in the Maya Hernandez trial looked at a video from the waiting room that lasted at least 3/4 of an hour Wednesday morning. The video was presented as evidence by the prosecution and shows Hernandez sitting, sometimes looking at her watch and exchanging a few words with other people, waiting at the spa where she was getting lip filler treatments, police say, while her kids were suffering outside in her hot car, which is where her 1-year-old son Emilio overheated and died in June. You can still help in the decision on what the city will look for in the next police chief of Bakersfield to replace Chief Greg Terry when he retires in April. Even if you missed the meetings with the city manager, where public comments were taken both online and in person Tuesday, the city has a survey you can take, and the link is posted on the Bakersfield City Facebook page. The police and Spectrum Cable are looking for whomever has been cutting the fiber optic and cable transmission lines. They believe that the vandals believe there is copper in there, when in reality there is little to none. But Spectrum says thousands of dollars worth of damage has been done, and it could mean people who have the phone service can't communicate during an emergency. A $25,000 reward is being offered for info that leads to an arrest. If you were caught in the traffic on Highway 58 this morning east of Tehachapi, the California Highway Patrol says that was a fatal wreck involving a semi-truck. It was just before 8 a.m. that truck crashed into a center wall, killing a person inside. That person has not yet been publicly identified, and the reason for the crash hasn't been determined. The average price for a gallon of regular in California is now down to $4.38 per gallon, still the highest in the country, reports Gas Buddy. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think? This is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get a post like this. Little thing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Wednesday, 10th day of December. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we're streaming live at KERNradio.com. Bottom of the hour, tell you the story of the man who was served 33 cocktails aboard the Royal Caribbean. We've got some new information on that. Police Chief Greg Terry was on Channel 17 this morning and responding to the situation with Manuel Robles, the man being held without bail for allegedly murdering his wife in front of his kids. And Chad Hathaway is going to join us at 5 o'clock. Now, that's a little joke. I screwed up the schedule. I thought Chad was coming in at 5. But we might replay that just in case for people. Or you can go to YouTube and rehear it. But and I'll tell you the story of the. We got some information on that video that I'm assuming a lot of you have seen. That airplane that crashed or landed, to be specific, on the I-95 down in Florida, landing on an SUV, and everybody's fine. It's dramatic video, and if you haven't seen it, you'll see it tonight. I guarantee you. In the meantime,
but baby, it's cold outside. But baby, it's cold outside. Been hoping that you drop in.
Do you know, Howard, there were folks that wanted to get rid of this song because they claimed it was sexual harassment?
Oh, the idiocy. I was just thinking that as you played that. You won't hear that played as much as it used to be.
No.
And it's like, look, come on, he's basically smooth talking here. This is not forcible rape. This is not sexual assault. He's trying to talk her out of leaving. Is all he's doing.
And we've all done it.
Oh yeah.
Every man that stands upright has done it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you don't
the old joke. Yeah, every back massage ends in sex if they have their way. You know, if guys have their way.
Yeah.
That used to be the old go-to move. Hey, your back hurts. Let me massage your back. No, it's silly because look, I was just reading about some of the songs that you no longer heard. I didn't realize that I think it was 2001, maybe that far back, or 2021. The Rolling Stones stopped playing Brown Sugar because of the origin of the song. And I went, what? You know, there's a lot of these things that are politically incorrect, but they're part of our musical history. And you take them with a grain of salt in that they're music. And this is a classic song. This has been played forever.
What is the issue with Brown Sugar?
Oh, it supposedly has undercurrents relates to the slave trade, and brown sugar refers to the girls. And if you actually read some of the lyrics on some of this stuff, you go, okay, but who actually listens to a loud rock and roll song and breaks down the lyrics? I couldn't have told you the lyrics to it until I read the article.
Yeah.
Yeah, just amazing. But, it's the times we're in. Everything gets, we want to just erase history. We don't explain it. We just erase it.
My actual first foray into radio was in the 80s when I was working for the LA Sentinel, and I was the news guy for KACE, KACE, a black station that was owned by Willie Davis.
Oh, okay.
The Willie Davis who played for the Packers, not the Willie Davis who played for the Dodgers. And I said something to the effect that I didn't think rap lyrics were a big deal because most of the kids they're just parroting what they're hearing. They're not really paying attention. And mothers started calling and lit me up. So you have no idea what you're talking about. I was like, okay, sorry. But
the funny thing about rap lyrics back then was the really violent, basically urban black rap lyrics are listened to about 99% of the time by white people trying to be cool.
Yeah, gangster rap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gangster rap.
Yeah, absolutely.
You look at Eminem and you look at all these other guys out there doing this stuff, and it's like, well, I can't. I love lots of music. I play music all the time, and a lot of times I don't really listen to the lyrics per se.
Right.
And most people don't.
That's what I said.
No.
But I got lit up.
Well,
I got lit up.
You said the wrong thing in public, I guess.
Yeah, basically. Have you bought your Powerball ticket yet, Howard?
No, I guess I could, but I always joke. I'm not 90 years old. I'm not a felon. I'm not a legal alien. I won't win. The old joke was if you're you're literally on your death's door, you'll win it. Or if you're not supposed to win to begin with, they've had cases of that. They had a legal alien won one of the jackpots a long time ago. He wasn't eligible to win, and there was a lot of pressure to give him the money.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. $930 million. You could take the cash equivalent of 420 and walk away.
Oh, I take it.
Oh, clearly.
I don't trust the state to have the money. That's the problem.
No.
20-year payout with the way that things are going. Take the money and run. Move to Ireland with no income tax.
What would you do with it? What would you guys change your whole lifestyle?
Oh, I just disappear because you imagine everybody you've ever talked to in the rest of your entire life would show up with their hand out.
Yeah. Every relative.
Everybody. Friend, relative, people you didn't know, people claim that you're the father of their child,
Yeah. Ex-girlfriends.
I'd be gone. In fact, you have a year to report it, which means you have about 11 months to basically just get out of town.
Yeah. I'd go buy myself a little island spot on Hilton Head.
There you
go. Have my grandparents' house updated because it's falling apart on 1010 North Street in Beaufort, South Carolina. Get my mom into a house.
Nice.
Get my nephew some money, and then I'm gone. Never see me again.
I don't know what I would do. There's so many options. I basically would, I just get on one of the cruise ships and go, we're never coming home.
Yeah.
The World Cruise, I looked at it a long time ago, like a bucket list. I think World Cruise was like $100,000, I think.
Really?
It's a year-long cruise. Yeah, it's a year long. You just stay on the boat. You go all over the world. Yeah, I read that years ago. Well, that's not a bad bucket list.
I'm not.
I weighed 400 pounds by the time it was done because all you'd be eating was their buffet. But
yeah, I'm not a cruise guy. We're going to talk about cruises at the bottom of the hour. You see this guy that got served 33 drinks?
Yeah, I guess you always complain to somebody else about your own stupid behavior.
You don't think he's, but you don't.
How many different bars did he hit? And to be honest, the stewards, you're not getting served by the same person every time. It's a big ship.
That's what I said. But we talked about it with Teresa or somebody. Who do we talk about it with? Chris?
Probably Teresa Goldner.
I don't think so. I forget who we talked about it with, but somebody told me that they still, it doesn't matter what bar you go on the ship, they still monitor your, it was Randizzle. It was Randizzle, Randy. They still monitor how many drinks you have. You can't serve somebody 33 drinks and not have any responsibility for their actions.
Yeah, when you buy the unlimited pass, do you just show them the pass? They don't monitor it? Because that question is, he had the unlimited drinks pass, but he just flashed the badge or whatever they.
But I think they monitor it. I think that's what Randy says, and Randy is Mr. Cruise Line.
Well, we've had multiple people text and call in and say that you get a 15 drink maximum per day, and that they monitor it with a card.
Well, so how he got 33, we'll never know, but we'll find out in this wrongful death suit. That's for sure.
Right, it'll come out. I only said it was getting for his wife or buying for it was a family thing. You can say, well, this is not for me, it's for my wife.
It's a weird story because the reason he was drinking is because his stateroom wasn't ready. Now, how on a cruise are you off out of the port and all the rooms aren't ready? I've never heard of that. Like, I get you come to a hotel and somebody checked out late and your room's not ready. I've had that happen many times in Vegas. But on a ship, on a boat, whatever they call it, that seems weird to me.
I don't know. I think it's a shared responsibility at minimum. I put the thing on the guy. How much self-control do you not have to drink that many drinks? Look, I know my limit. It certainly isn't, what is it, 34 he had or 43? 33
drinks.
At what point do you go, I've had plenty? I mean, I couldn't drink that much physical liquid in my body.
Yeah.
And what time frame did he have it? It wasn't like in an hour. He didn't pound him down. He couldn't have.
Well, I really don't think the drinks, in terms of the wrongful death suit, I don't think the drinks are going to be the issue. The issue is
the wrestling with the ground and the drugs.
Exactly. They pumped him full of drugs. You can't do that. Can you?
I don't know. Well, obviously they could, because they did. The captain on a ship, they used to talk away the way it was. It's almost like running a country. He's basically in charge of everything on the ship and responsible for everything. And he has the maritime powers on the ship are pretty impressive as far as what he can do. You've heard all about that kind of stuff. He can marry people, he can put them in rig, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know the protocol for it. I don't know if they follow the protocol. This is a big guy. If he got really violent, they just could not restrain him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I put at least half of it on the guy. Come on, you and I know. You drink and I drink. I know my limit. I can get pretty drunk, but it's even when I'm getting pretty drunk, I know at one point you really need to stop. And I'm pretty sure it's not 33 drinks. I don't know. It's a hard question. You're right. It's going to come out in the trial. We'll see how they blame it. Yeah. I would not be surprised if they split the responsibility.
We're going to play the package at the bottom of the hour, and the defense attorney, dropped George Floyd's name. So they're going that route.
Well, you know what? In a way, because if you look at the amount of fentanyl he had in his body, it was a lethal dose.
Right.
So, which is one reason why there was the original issues over it, because the theoretical issue was whether they stood on his neck or he held him down or whatever, he was going to die, potentially going to die anyways. And that was the defense for the George Floyd. I don't know the answer, but Mary and I have watched cops since it started. That needle in the neck thing is done all the time. That's a different subject. We won't go there. But, my answer to that has always been what I've always said. And that's, again, another subject. If you don't want to be violently restrained, you don't want to be pumped full of drugs to subdue you, don't act out.
Yeah, I guess. I think he's going to win, personally. I really do.
I think he's going to win something, or the family will.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. I think there was some mistakes made. I think they're going to try and settle because, again, they have the money. They don't need the SDR. They don't need a trial to drag on. But the cruise ships are taking a real beating lately anyways. They're joking now. They call them the Spirit Airlines of the sea. Most reprehensible behaviors now is on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And it used to be a fun thing. I've been on a cruise. In fact, my honeymoon was on a cruise. We went to our whole wedding party went with me. And for me, the best part about it is I didn't have to do anything. I laid on the deck and read a book and had an occasional drink, and very few, and basically enjoyed not having to do anything. No housework, nothing at all, no phone call, nothing. And that's what the best part about it for a cruise for me.
I hated it. Jazz and I hosted 50 of our listeners.
I almost went.
Did you?
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, we were talking about it. I couldn't I was still working. I couldn't get my schedule such that, I had cases to work and documents to prepare. I just couldn't get free. But yeah, I almost went on the cruise.
I
remember that one.
Hated it.
Oh yeah.
Hated it. I'm not a cruise guy. I'm just not. And there's
nothing wrong with
it. They had
it.
a casino there. I dropped a little dough playing blackjack, and I mean, I could see how it would be fun. It wasn't for me. The rooms were really, really small.
Well, they were tiny.
Yeah. It's all bed.
Well, for me, the room was just a place you go at the very end of the day to crash. That's it. Just like a hotel room. You're not entertaining yourself. You're going there to sleep, and that's all. All I needed was a nice, clean bed.
Ensenada was fun. I can't deny that. Ensenada was fun.
It was interesting. I went with a tour. A friend of mine spoke Spanish, and he fronted for it. Nice for it. I joked it was Arvin without the charm. They had one street light when I was there. This was years ago, in 2004. It wasn't that long. They had one street light that was actually even there. Garbage was in the streets everywhere. And the interesting part was their street people at the time were mestizos, which were inter-country Indians. They weren't what you think of Spanish or Mexican. They were native Indians, indigenous Indians, begging in the street corners. And and I was really not impressed. But I went there for, remember Senior Frogs?
Oh, yeah.
The infamous bars there. We went to that, a couple bars. That was a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, what's right across the street from Senior Frogs?
Oh, there was the other one. I went to them both.
Yeah, that's what we did. We went to both of them.
Yeah, there are two right. That's the two main ones.
Yep. Where they turn you upside down and shake your head.
Yeah, we watched it happen to somebody else. We didn't mention my wife was a newlywed at the time, but they would have done it to her.
Yeah.
They took the girl down. They basically poured tequila, I think, in her belly button while she was upside down and running out her chin. We were very careful not to announce our status.
We had one of our listeners get so drunk, she went into the bathroom and took off her shirt and her bra, and they had whatever the name of the restaurant is, the bar, not Senior Frogs, but the one across the street.
Yeah, what was it?
And they had
Hassan's. Was it Hassan's Katina? That's one of the.
No, I know it. I know it.
One there.
Yeah, I know it. If you said
it. Not across from Senior Frogs though.
And so she took one of their essentially bumper stickers.
Oh, geez.
And placed it across her breasts and walked around the bar like that.
I should have went. Mary's downstairs probably yelling at she's in another room. She's probably yelling the name out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it is. They're right across. And they're big deals. Yeah.
That was the highlight. What'd she say?
I don't. She's
yell it again, Mary.
Oh, Papas and beer.
Yes.
Papas and beer.
That's exactly what it is.
That's
exactly what it is.
I have T-shirts from both here somewhere.
Yeah, it was a fun deal. Let me leave you with this. What's Donald Trump doing with Venezuela?
Well, he wants Maduro. They've already had a phone call. Maduro's already, I don't know if you realize, Maduro offered us allegedly in the phone call to leave the country if he got immunity and was allowed to pick anywhere he wanted to go. And that was turned down.
By
they
Trump?
Want regime change. Trump, he had a personal call with Trump. Trump announced, this is what Trump announced, that Maduro offered to leave if he got certain preconditions. And one was immunity from prosecution, allowed to leave the country with his family, and he gets to pick where he gets to go.
Well, if you want regime change, why not accept that?
I don't know. I don't know the specific reason why they turned him down, other than the fact that they have an agenda to get Maduro personally, bring him to trial. I don't know the answer to that one. I would have agreed to it because you always, sorry, we changed our mind and grab him, but let him leave if you want him to leave.
Yeah,
I would have given him the deal. I said, okay,
definitely,
basically call his bluff.
Absolutely, and this, was in the wake of him pardoning the Honduran drug dealer,
right?
Which kind of like, I don't know, sends a mixed
message. Well, here's a logic between a lot of the pardons, and you understand when they over-sentence somebody dramatically or it's a rigged thing. I understand, but he should have given Maduro. I would have given Maduro the deal. Because, the thing is, okay, we don't nab him, but there's what's called the International Criminal Court. They could have had an international warrant and somebody else could have grabbed him. We have an proxies out there.
True that.
Yeah.
True that. Have you seen Nuremberg?
No. The main reason why is I heard it's a wonderful performance.
Yeah, somebody called
Russell Crowe playing Goring.
And I'm a huge Rami Malek, what's his name? Rami Malek.
Yeah, I played Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan.
He's a fantastic actor. He started out, I saw him in the Pacific, the series.
He's a twin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he tells a great story about, he was on the Graham Norton show, which I love.
Oh, the English guy, yeah.
Yeah, and he asked him, have you guys ever traded places?
Oh.
And he said, a couple times. And he said, the best one was my brother was graduating from UCLA, and he had a Greek class, and the final was a performance of a Greek play. And he asked Rami if he'd fill in. And so he said, all right. So he gave him the directions. You're going to run into a guy named Ralph at Royce Hall, and and he goes in and he said, when I took my SATs at Royce Hall, didn't realize it's a room of like 500 people. And Rami wasn't a star at this point. He was just getting off his feet. And he said he did the performance. And at the end of the class, the teacher asked to see him.
Uh-oh.
And he was like, oh, Lord, here we go. And she said, I didn't think you had that in you. I'm absolutely shocked. And he said, well, it just happens. And she goes, can you come back at 5:00 and do it for my other class? And he said, do I get the credit? Can I graduate? And she said, oh, yeah, you got the credit. That's a done deal. And they said, no, I can't do it.
That's funny.
And left.
Left.
I love that story.
Well, I'll tell you the big long story short. The reason I don't watch most of the Holocaust stuff is my father was a Kindertransport Holocaust survivor, and all the rest of the family perished in the camps. So for me,
wow,
very personal, and I don't want to relive any of the experiences. My dad had a horrendous life, no childhood whatsoever. Born in 1933 in Vienna, which was a horrible place to be a Jew.
Yeah, no kidding.
And went through the Crystal Knock. He got typhus, almost died when he was 7. They got him out as a Kindertransport just in time to get to London during the Blitz of 1940. Lived through that, didn't speak any English.
Wow.
City burning around him. So, it's real personal for me.
I bet.
I read how horrible it is. I don't need to see it on the screen.
I don't blame you, my brother. All right, sir. Tell Mary I said hi. How's her health?
She's much feeling better, but we still have to check out what's going on. It's off and on now, but it's not constant.
Is she eating?
Yeah, well, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm right there with her.
I guess. I don't know.
I have had half an egg salad sandwich in the last 48 hours.
Well, day or two doesn't hurt you because they tell you all about those fasts. So it may be not a horrible thing. It's just when it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, I can't even.
You know what? The important thing, Ralph, stay hydrated. Seriously.
I know, and I can't even. I have no desire. Look at how far I've got with my water today.
Oh, I know. You drink. I watch you drinking it on YouTube all the time.
Yeah,
you said you could tolerate tea. Try tea.
I got some latte crap from Starbucks, but it was milky. I didn't really like it. I didn't have
just straight tea. Just
yeah,
regular old tea.
That's what I had yesterday. I had the green tea. It was great. It was
put honey in it.
Yep, exactly. Local honey.
Little brandy. I didn't say that.
I'm on the wagon. I'm on the wagon, believe it or not. Have a great weekend. Say hi to Mary. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Talk to you.
Howard Marcus, quick time out. No time when we get to the bottom of the hour. We'll get into 4:30, that half hour, and talk about the man, Michael Virgil, who died aboard a Royal Caribbean after imbibing 33 cocktails. It's the Ralph Bailey Show. On News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
No one can beat us, no one can touch us. You won't find better prices. Shop and compare, we don't care. Take a look our way and come in.
9 and 3.
Carpet Outlet
God damn.
Plus. Every day is sale day.
Pet stains on your carpet? Carpet Outlet Plus has everything you need to make your
9 and
floors
3 and you get
pet-proof.
whacked?
With over 100 in-stock waterproof floors, Carpet Outlet Plus can solve your pet problems for good. We also stock over 50 colors of pet-perfect carpet. Call, click, or come by today for your free in-home estimate. Don't forget, for the do-it-yourselfer, we also offer free next-day delivery on all qualifying stock floors. And as a bonus, go to carpetoutletplus.com and apply for 12 months no-interest financing. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, visit FVGradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-417-6411. 800-417-6411. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and you get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? Call 800-417-6411 and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
It's a winter wonderland of sweets at DeWars. See the spectacular twinkling Christmas lights and enjoy festive decorations and hot chocolate from November 3rd through January 5th. Treat your family to handmade candies and holiday ice cream flavors. Write your letters to Santa starting November 29th, every Saturday and Sunday from 4 to 8 p.m. until Christmas. Snap photos and make memories that will melt your heart, just like our ice cream. Dewar's, where Christmas fun, lights, and sweetness comes to life. Only at Dewar's, 2700 Callaway Drive.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The Trump administration is adding another militarized zone to the southern U.S. border to support border security operations, this time in California. The Department of Interior on Wednesday said it would transfer jurisdiction along most of California's international border with Mexico to the Navy. Residents of western Washington state are packing up valuables and preparing to flee as heavy rain causes rivers to rise. An atmospheric river is swelling rivers toward record levels, with major flooding expected in areas like the Skagit River north of Seattle. On Wall Street, a good day as the Dow was up by 497 points. The Nasdaq rose 77. The S&P advanced 46. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. Stop cutting the fiber optic lines is the message from Spectrum and Bakersfield Police. Vandals have done thousands of dollars worth of damage, possibly trying to steal copper by cutting the lines. Now a $25,000 reward is being offered for info that leads to an arrest. In the Maya Hernandez trial, day 3, jurors saw a video of Hernandez in the waiting room of a spa where she got her lip filler treatments the day that her kids were left in a hot car and 1-year-old Emilio died from being overheated. Thursday is the last day of testimony for the week. You can fill out a survey if you want to say and what qualities you want to see in your next police chief in Bakersfield when the current chief retires in April. A link to the survey is on the city Facebook page. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Got battery issues? Choose the number one name in power, A1 Battery. We've got you covered with top quality batteries for every need. Cars, scooters, motorhomes, garage door openers, key fobs, golf carts, home alarm systems, wheelchairs, and so much more. If it takes a battery, A1 Battery has it. With multiple locations to serve you. Enjoy free diagnostics on batteries, starters, alternators, and electrical systems. Plus, get free installation with any purchase. First Friday of each month is free Key Fob Battery Friday. Family owned and operated since 1960. A1 Battery has been providing reliable, friendly service to Kern County. Need us in a pinch? We offer emergency services to make sure you're never stranded. Tell us you heard it on the radio and get 10% off your purchase. Call A1 Battery today, 589 1433 for the location nearest you, or visit online at a1batterycompany.com. A1 Battery, powering your world, one battery at a time.
Thursday edition, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show, as we continue to move you closer and closer to the holiday. That means no healthcare fraud. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, they're having a hearing on healthcare fraud. He will join us to break all that down and more. Plus, we'll give you the latest on Venezuela and other aspects of the Trump 2.0 agenda as they come available. All that and more. You won't want to miss it. Come hang with us on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Armstrong and Getty Show. Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Well, according to the numbers, a lot of you were watching KGT this morning when Greg Terry, who appears along with Donnie Youngblood on the regular on Channel 17 on the morning show, and Laura Holcomb got into the Manuel Robles situation. And this is the man who killed his wife allegedly in front of his children. The reports are, the court documents, according to 17, indicate that there was a row between he and his 15-year-old son, because initially, according to the documents and according to 17, picked up a handgun. The boy struggled with him, apparently either dislodged the gun or got away from him, or the dad gave up. So he grabbed an AR-15 and shot her several times. And Police Chief Terry talked about the situation and sent out a message to the community.
My message to the community is, if you know of somebody that's going through domestic violence, or you're in the home and there's domestic violence, reach out to the Open Door Network, reach out to the police department. There are a lot of services available, and we need to take advantage of those opportunities to intervene and prevent things from escalating like they did there.
Now, this is why I'm giving Lauren Holcomb so much love, because she kind of grilled him a little bit. And she asked the question that we posed when this story broke. Why is it when Ralph Bailey and Harriet Bailey are having issues and the police have to come to 1600 Via Barcelona many times, chronicled that the police have been called to this house many times, that the police can't do anything about this? And this was the situation at the Robles home, where everybody in the neighborhood knew that there was domestic violence going on. Again, the cops had been to the home repeatedly, like once, twice, maybe even 3 times. You can kind of ignore it, I suppose. But how in the world, if you're there 5, 6, 7 times, I don't know what several means, but I'm assuming that's more than a few, it's more than a couple, that somehow they can't step in. And Holcomb grilled him on this. Here was his answer.
It's not uncommon, unfortunately, for domestic violence type incidents or that are occurring within a family dynamic for us to get lots of calls there. And so I don't know the specifics of this case in particular, but it is not uncommon for us to repeatedly go to these homes. But it requires people being willing to take advantage of resources. It requires them being willing to acknowledge what is going on and report things to us. And those are difficult things for victims, and those are difficult things for family members at times. And so we may go to a house repeatedly for a variety of things, but if people don't tell us what's going on, there's no way for us to know. And so that's why my message is, when these kinds of things are going on, you don't have to call the police. We encourage you to, but there are also a lot of resources that are available to prevent domestic violence from escalating to something like we saw there.
He's right, but at the same time, he's wrong. I think two things can be true at the same time. Yes, you can call the open door network. There are avenues. You get a restraining order. But I still think that the police have some role, some responsibility. I don't know about the legalities of it. But if you've been to a house 4, 5, 6 times because the male is getting drunk and is belligerent, or they're putting their hands on him, I mean, apparently, how are you coming to the home that often and he's not getting arrested? And I don't know the situation with Robles. I haven't looked into it in terms of, does he have a record? Has he gone to jail for domestic violence? I think it's rare that a shooting incident occurs and there wasn't some sort of violence prior to the murder. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, there's the Peterson case and there are a lot of different cases, but I would bet, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I would guess 7 out of 10 domestic violent murders began with him putting his hands on the woman. And the other 3, I think, are situations where the guy just snaps. You know what I'm saying? Where he comes home one day and, you know, he finds something. The guy that she's sleeping with left something at the house, or she accidentally, you know, something just crazy that out of nowhere disrupts your world. You think you've got a loyal wife. And I'm not trying to excuse domestic violence and their behavior. All I'm saying is, I think, and again, I have no idea what I'm talking about. No idea what I'm talking about. But I don't feel like bothering Eileen Parra or Lauren Skidmore and getting them in here again. But I think some people just snap. Look at this Brian Walsh case. This thing is unbelievable. You know, we should have Lisa in as a guest. We really should.
You could probably pull her in right now. She's probably listening.
The head of our traffic department has been following the Brian Walsh case. And I was walking in today. She gave me an update.
No, you know what we really need to do is we need to sit her down when we have Daniel Petrie in here and explain how the heck he made her all that money.
Well, I didn't want to get into her business.
I remember saying he does a damn good job.
You're right. I should have got an okay from her to use that as part
Absolutely.
of the commercial.
Well, I wouldn't give figures or anything, but like he's doing a great job for her.
And I told you he's doing great. I think that's what instigated her to tell me that, because I talked on the show how because you know me, I'm an idiot. And I don't even open up my Raymond James reports. And I opened up one of them the other day, and I was like, oh, no top ramen in my 70s. I'll be okay. A little Social Security on the side and this little chunk of change and a 401k. Because you know what? Of all my fears, I've been fearful that I'm going to die young since I was about 40. My dad died at 56 when I was 36. And I was a fat tub and I was a drunkard. I really don't think I was an alcoholic. I really don't. But I was a drunk. I was a pretty good drunk. And then when I went through the blood pressure issue, I was just convinced. I'd be lucky to see 70, you know, which is just several years away. But you know what's going to happen? I'm going to be Mickey Mantle. That's what's going to happen.
You be Mickey Mantle?
Yeah. Mickey Mantle's dad and 3 of his uncles all died in their 40s.
Uh-huh.
So Mantle assumed they all died of Hodgkin's disease.
Oh, yeah.
And so Mantle just assumed he was going to die young. And how could you not?
Yeah, fair statement.
Your dad and 3 of his brothers all die of the same disease? And so Mantle says, that's why I partied like an idiot. Now, that might have been rationalization on Mickey's part, but I could see that. I could see that because I went through the very same thing. You can ask JR and all these guys who've worked with me for years. I've always been like, I ain't going to live that long. I ain't going to live that long. Because my fear is when I went through the blood pressure issue for like 3 years, and we were playing with different drugs, and this wasn't working, and then we got me on sleep apnea machine, which brought it down a little bit. Because there are all kind of causes for high blood pressure, and we finally got a hold of it, thanks to Dr. Jeet Singh, the finest cardiologist in the land. And I just figured, you know, your arteries are like a highway. And if you're rushing, the blood is rushing through, it wears away the walls of your arteries. And I just had figured that my arteries can't be that strong. But that's what's going to happen to me. I'll be Mickey Mantle. I've had this fear since I was 50. I'll probably live to be 85. Because there are some days, because like I'm making some pretty good coin right now. And because I'm doing some extra work, and I might have an announcement for you guys. But and I always use my extra check to send some dough to Petrie. And God, that scared the crap out of me.
Was it DirecTV again?
Spam. No, we got rid of DirecTV. That was funny. That was funny. I had people text me. I don't know why they thought that was so funny. I had three people text me, and somebody in the chat room, I think it was Judy or Stella, said that was hilarious. I don't know why. I think it was when JR came in.
When JR came in,
Billy.
If you would have started it, if you were the one that said, "Hey, boss," what'd you say, boss? Like, I wouldn't have walked in. I really wouldn't have. But that was a good setup.
If you weren't with us yesterday, I got a DirecTV has been calling me like for the last 3 or 4 days. And I knew it wasn't about the bill because I just paid the bill. I always pay the bill on the 15th. Or on the what did I pay it? On the 5th. On the 5th when we get paid. And so I knew it wasn't about the bill, but I kept pushing off. So finally he called me during the show and I took it live and they were trying to sell me. Just trying to sell me. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. I still haven't gotten rid of Paramount. Such an idiot.
Honestly, you probably should have did it right then and there.
I should have on the air. You're right.
Probably just said, you know what? No, but I want you to take Paramount off.
Yeah,
too.
I got to get rid of it. Unless, you know what I think subconsciously, I'm trying to wait to see what happens with this takeover. Because if they take over Warner Brothers, then it's worth it. The $12.99 a month I'm paying.
It's true.
Because it'll be first-rate movies.
Do you think they keep the apps separate though? Because if they buy Warner Brothers, that means they buy HBO Max.
Correct.
So do you think they merge the two apps, or do you think they just keep them separate?
They keep them separate.
And just bounce movies back and forth between the two of them?
Yeah, absolutely. What is really good on HBO Max right now?
There's a couple good shows that they run.
Something really, really good that's on HBO Max right now. Okay, anybody want to help us out? Something.
Well, it depends what you're looking for. I have a horror series that you'll like, or that you probably won't like.
No.
Well, it's based on It.
Yeah.
Like the Stephen King.
I'm not a fan.
No? Well, then never mind.
And if I don't come to work tomorrow, I'm going to finish Diddy.
You know what? I'm in the same boat. I'm like an episode or two in, and I really want to finish this thing.
It's so good. It's so good.
I want to know how he got this stuff, like how he got all the video and all that. Because I know it's from Diddy's documentary that he was cutting, but I want to know how he convinced them, hey, let me have it.
And Diddy photographed or filmed his life.
Yeah.
Like he's on the phone. They're in the middle of the trial. It could have been during the trial because he was in jail during the trial.
This was pre-trial, if I'm not mistaken. I guess
And
it was
he's
during
talking to the
preliminaries.
attorney.
So you're talking about when he's talking to the two
how
attorneys?
we blew it.
Yes.
How he's screaming and
it's like, you guys are losing. You need to come together and fix this.
And Harvey Levin, who is an attorney who runs TMZ, went off on him. In fact, I think I have the audio. We might play that if we've got some time, where he's like, that is so wrong because that guy, the attorney, kept your black ass out of prison for the rest of your life. And you're going taping interviews, and it's up to the client, but that's lawyer-client privilege. It's up to the client. If the client wants to put it on Netflix, they can, but it doesn't do the defense a solid, doesn't do them a service. And it's just such a Diddy thing to do. You know, he's just an absolute crumb. That's all there is to it. And I don't know whether it was his upbringing or something snapped. And you see this other thing, the Melly Mel deal.
Ooh, I missed this. What's happening now?
Where there's audio and it was released, but nobody said it was Diddy because the person that released it was trying to humiliate Melly Mel. But there's alleged audio of Sean Combs doing the nasty with Melly Mel.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's graphic. I'll play it for you during the break. We can't play it on the air.
No.
but and he's like talking to him, and he's just a no good bisexual freak. And then, I saw another interview with one of Cassie's prostitutes. How she walks away from this, like with any kind of reputation, she is nasty. I mean, she was doing all kind of prostitutes, and they weren't wearing condoms, and the description is just, I don't even want to get into it on the show. Where Sean would be in the corner watching, and they were asking him, did you create a relationship with this woman? Did you have affection for her? He said, no, not really, but yeah, kind of. I mean, I was having sex with her 3-4 times a week. I was like, God, why would you want to share your woman and follow some nasty? I'll never understand LA. I'll never understand Hollywood. Never, ever. Let's take a quick break, come back, check the board, see what you all are talking about. Top of the hour, we'll replay our interview with Chad Hathaway only because I'm about to pass out. I really am. And then we'll get into the dash cam video of the year. A plane on a flight instruction flight, a Beechcraft aircraft, a propeller job, landed atop an SUV on I-95 down in Florida way. And everybody's fine. Like I said at the top of the show, boy, that's a hell of an advertisement for the SUV, whatever, if it's Hyundai or Lexus or whatever. Whoever made that SUV, that's a great commercial. Worried about getting into an accident? Being hit by a truck? Our SUV can stand even a plane landing on it. Quick timeout. We're coming right back. It's TRBS on a really chilly Wednesday, right here on News Talk 96.1 AM 1180 KERN, streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. It's the JR Show.
So it looks like Prop 50 is going to pass. That's fine. I respect the process. I might not agree with the outcome, but I at least respect the process. The problem is Democrats still have to win elections next year. They couldn't flip Valadeo's seat, and that district has been Democrat for a long time. So this isn't over. They might have won Prop 50, but they still need voter turnout, which is a problem for them, and they still need to win congressional races.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Sangera Subaru with an announcement. It's time again for the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event. Buy or lease a new Subaru through January 2nd, and a donation of $325 will be made by Subaru to your choice of 4 national charities like Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, the ASPCA, and National Forest Service, or local charities Honor Flight Kern County, Global Family, and the Daughter Project. Right now, at Sangera Subaru, you can lease a 2025 Outback Premium CVT for only $239 per month for 36 months and $4,800 due at signing. You get a new car plus donate to charity. It's an absolute win-win. Don't miss the Subaru Share the Love event going on now at Sangera Subaru in the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
January 2nd, 2026. Lease 2025 Outback Premium CVT model code SDD-11 for only $239 a month on a 36-month lease. $4,800 due at lease signing plus tax and license. 0 security deposit. 10,000 mile year limit. 15 cents per mile overage. MSRP $36,506. VIN number S3331256.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-399-7272. 800-399-7272. Again, that's 800-399-7272.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points.
You don't want to do it? You don't want to come in?
Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000. This is when mindset comes in. Someone will be eliminated. Pressure is coming down. This is Trainer Games.
Watch it on Prime Video starting January 8th. The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERS.
Eight 842-5376, 842-KERN. You know when you get sick and your spine starts to hurt?
Your body starts aching?
Yeah, my spine is killing me. I don't know what that is all about. And my energy level has just dropped. That's the issue right now. I just keep seeing my bed. It looks so good right now. God. Anything on the board?
Yeah, I got a couple here.
What do you got?
Hey, Ralph, I think it's kind of like the situation with CPS. The system is broken. The response time for law enforcement is incredibly long, and it's just discouraging.
It is. It absolutely is. That's why people lie on the 911 calls, because they realize if you say, and I think he has a gun, they'll respond quickly. But I still don't understand, however, and I don't know whether they monitor these things. It was shocking to hear Greg Terry on KGT this morning say that it's not uncommon to have police go to one home multiple times. I still don't think that's reason enough to turn a blind eye. I mean, maybe they can have some relationship with CPS, and after, say, the second visit by the cops, you have a social worker go in there and see what the hell's going on. I don't know. It just seems ridiculous that there are women that are calling the cops 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And we all just, well, it is what it is. And I don't know. It just seems, it's so tragic. And those kids, and again, if you don't know what we're talking about the Manuel Robles case, the man who's accused of killing his wife in front of his kids. Those kids are through. I mean, I pray I'm wrong, but can you imagine having to, we talk about this with the Scrivener kids, that therapy is mandatory. Can you imagine getting into a fight with your father who's trying to kill your mother, and you have to dislodge the gun, and then he picks up another gun and kills her? So not only did you witness a murder, which is traumatic in and of itself, obviously, you've also witnessed the murder of your mother. And at 15, you're savvy enough to realize I'm an orphan. I'm an orphan. I don't have any parents. My dad's about to go away for the rest of his life. And if he doesn't, by the time he gets out of prison, I'll be 35, 40 years old. And probably don't have anything to do with it. And they're going to have to testify. You imagine? I doubt this guy. Well, no, it was an affluent area. It was Tallulah Avenue or something. It was in the Southwest. So can you imagine? That's what we said about the Scrivener case, that the fact that the kids are the only witnesses. And can you imagine a 15-year-old going on trial and having to be cross-examined by, H.A. Sala, David Torres, one of these sharp defense attorneys? I can't even imagine. I really can't. One more. Let's get into the 5.
How about for the ad? It's not a bird. It's not a plane. No, that's one tough SUV.
Damn, you should go into advertising, dude. That wasn't bad. Whoever that wasn't bad. Can you imagine? We're going to play that when we come back. We got the package, right?
Yes.
We're going to play the package. You'll hear some details about some of the witnesses that came to the rescue who were on the freeway, and just a bizarre situation where a Beechcraft propeller plane, landed on I-95 and landed atop an SUV. And the 27-year-old pilot and the flight instructor, I assume, because it was an instructional flight, they walked away, absolutely walked away. And the 57-year-old woman who was driving the SUV had minor injuries. Absolutely miraculous. And imagine if he had landed, say it's not I-95, let's say it's the 405, which has overpasses like Sunset Boulevard, where I'd get off to go to high school. You imagine? Or wires going across the freeway? It's miraculous that nobody was killed. Or what if the gasoline had caught on fire? I'm assuming they didn't have a lot of gas in the Beechcraft aircraft, but this thing could have been disastrous. We headed to the final hour of the broadcast, TRBS. I'd stick around if I you.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The House passed the National Defense Authorization Act Wednesday, punting the yearly legislation that governs Pentagon spending to the Senate. Correspondent Bernie Bennett has more.
The vote was 312 to 112, with 18 Republicans and 94 Democrats voting no on the bill that authorizes $901 billion in War Department spending. An earlier procedural vote on the legislation just barely passed 215 to 211 at the 11th hour after 4 Republicans, Representatives Anna Paula Luna of Florida, Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, Tim Burchett of Tennessee, and Lauren Boebert of Colorado, all changed their votes from no to yes. All Democrats voted no on the procedural rule vote. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
President Trump says U.S. military forces took control of an oil tanker in the Caribbean.
We've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually.
U.S. officials say the tanker was seized by the U.S. time in a row Wednesday, but signaled that it may leave rates up. Fed Chair Jerome Powell answers a question on where to take rates.
What you see is some people feel we should stop here and that we're at the right place and just wait. Some people feel like we should cut once or more this year and next year.
Wednesday's point to about 3.6%, the lowest in nearly 3 years. Wall Street liked what it heard. The Dow was up by 497 points. The NASDAQ rose 77, 46. More at Town Hall.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are high interest payments becoming too much to bear? Luckily, there's a way for consumers $1,000 in credit card debt or personal loans to significantly reduce the amount they owe if they qualify. Qualifying for this debt relief program, which the credit card companies prefer to keep secret, will only require you to pay back a you owe with one affordable monthly payment. You don't have to file bankruptcy or need a debt consolidation loan. Consumers can now take advantage of this financial debt relief during the current economic downturn and rising inflation. If you owe $10,000 or even $500,000 in credit card debt or personal loans, call the Debt Relief Advocates Helpline now for this free information and to see if you qualify. Call 800-524-8986. 800-524-8986. Again, that's 800-524-8986.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
A surveillance video of the waiting room. I'm Chris Davis. The jury in the Maya Hernandez trial looked at a video from the waiting room that lasted at least 3/4 of an hour Wednesday morning. The video was presented as evidence by the prosecution and shows Hernandez sitting, sometimes looking at her watch and exchanging a few words with other people, waiting at the spa where she was getting lip filler treatments, police say, while her kids were suffering outside in her hot car, which is where her 1-year-old son Emilio overheated and died in June. You can still help in the decision on what the city will look for in the next police chief of Bakersfield to replace Chief Greg Terry when he retires in April. Even if you missed the meetings with the city manager, where public comments were taken both online and in person Tuesday, the city has a survey you can take, and the link is posted on the Bakersfield City Facebook page. The police and Spectrum Cable are looking for whomever has been cutting the fiber optic and cable transmission lines. They believe that the vandals believe there is copper in there, when in reality there is little to none. But Spectrum says thousands of dollars worth of damage has been done, and it could mean people who have the phone service can't communicate during an emergency. A $25,000 reward is being offered for info that leads to an arrest. If you were caught in the traffic on Highway 58 this morning east of Tehachapi, the California Highway Patrol says that was a fatal wreck involving a semi-truck. It was just before 8 a.m. that truck crashed into a center wall, killing a person inside. That person has not yet been publicly identified, and the reason for the crash hasn't been determined. The average price for a gallon of regular in California is now down to $4.38 per gallon, still the highest in the country, reports Gas Buddy. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think? This is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get a post like this. Little thing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast on this Wednesday, 10th day of December. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we're streaming live at KERNradio.com. We still got lots to do before we get out of here and I go to bed. Man, that little 2-minute laydown was so good to me. There's no way I'm here tomorrow. No way. Which is kind of good. I mean, it's bad, but it's good because let's let the audience select who will fill in. I'm going to call in sick tomorrow. So we'll just tell them whoever they choose to be on standby because I might get better. You never know. I wouldn't bet on it. But I might wake up and feel fine. Or fine enough to get through the show, at least. I mean, it's 3 hours. Good with Moogly.
That would be the hope.
It would what?
That would be a hope, but, I mean, if you're sick, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Because it's 21st century. They don't want you to come to work anymore.
Oh, no.
It used to be when I was growing up, they wanted you to come to work. That's right. Put some dirt on it and get in here. What's the matter with you? But now, post-COVID, they want you to stay home, and particularly given what we do. Like, I'm going to have to spray. JR sprays before he comes in here. But I'm gonna have to spray when I leave tonight. So you guys go ahead and tighten us up. Who do y'all want to see host tomorrow in my stead? Here are the nominees of people that are really enthusiastic about doing it. Cassie Biddle loves doing it.
Love it.
Kathy Abernathy loves doing it. I think we could throw Teresa Goldner.
Yeah, I think she's got the bug
in that category who loves to do it. Turnip Seed, not so much.
No.
He doesn't want to waste his whole afternoon sitting in here.
Yeah, and getting him in for an hour in here, sure, but a whole 3, it's asking a little much.
Yeah, exactly. He's a busy man. Who else we got? Howard's not driving down here.
Dick Taylor can make a return, I guess.
Dick Taylor. I haven't seen Dick in a long time.
I know, me too.
I see him on Facebook with his corny jokes
all the time.
All the time.
You know, some of them make me laugh, though. I won't lie. He gets me on some occasions.
Every now and again.
He's got a clever one. I can't remember the last one that got me.
I was thinking the same thing. I couldn't remember. I could not remember. So go ahead, call in, text, or in the chat room. Who do you guys, and then we'll call live. We need to do more live stuff because somebody else chimed in and said, yeah, that live phone call was hilarious. We need to do more live stuff. We need to kind of change up the show a little bit. Start calling people randomly. You know what I mean? Like, for example, we could call Mike Arier and talk about how he decided to finally advertise with us after knowing me for 26 years. Mike's Rage and Barbecue is going to be an advertiser when we start the new year. While you all try to determine who is going to host tomorrow, and again, I might be fine. I might take a turn for the better. I might be here, but we should definitely, because we don't want to run a best of. And so, because Mike and we definitely need to get Petrie in there tomorrow to talk about interest rates. But call 842-5376, 842-KERN. Anything?
I was able to get Chad Hathaway to the interview to cut. So,
oh yeah,
if you want to go to that at some point, we can. You're gonna have to give me about a minute for it to finish, but yeah.
Please stand by.
I also have a text message here voting for Ray Martinez from Martinez and Martinez LLC.
From Ray Martinez.
Yeah, from Ray Martinez. At least he's offering.
This is Mama Bear.
Oh,
Cindy told me. Maybe she wants to do it. Let's see. Hang on. I gotta put him on. She says, Dick can't do it. He's under the weather.
Oh.
Everybody's sick. Once it changes, the weather radically changes like it has, where we were like in the upper 50s and the 60s, and now all week long, it's going to be in the 40s as a high. Everybody gets sick. What I don't understand, how is it warmer in Tehachapi than it is down here? It's in the 70s up in the mountains. How is that? Explain that to me.
Your guess is as good as mine. I assume it has to do with the clouds and the cloud level, and maybe they break through it, but I could not tell you.
Because I have never been to Tehachapi.
Usually
when
Tehachapi,
it's not freezing.
Usually Tehachapi is about 10 degrees colder than it is here.
We used to go up there. We ever do a game together up there?
Yes.
We did?
Yeah, I think we've gone through that. I don't think it was at Tehachapi, but I think we've drawn or drove somewhere in the area.
Well, JR did. JR and I did a couple of games.
Yeah, we got to go up in the bird nest or whatever they call it.
No, we didn't have to go on top.
We didn't go up top. Oh, okay.
They set a little desk off to the side of the press box.
When I coached there, they had if you wanted to go up into the booth, obviously they didn't have a booth for you. They literally had pretty much what do they call that on the top of a pirate's mast?
Crow's nest.
Crow's nest, exactly. They had a crow's nest up there that you had to climb up, and there was no coverage.
That's why I stopped doing high school football, because there's so many schools that you have to, Centennial, you got to get on top of the thing, and it's like a submarine ladder that you have to climb up, and I'm just too old, flat out. I'm just too old, and you're carrying equipment, and I don't like heights, and every time I get up there, I'm thinking, what if there's an earthquake? You know? I don't think we need to repeat the Chad Hathaway thing. If you can go back and watch it on YouTube, but I do want to play this package regarding the flight that, again, if you have not seen the video, you will. It is pretty doggone dramatic, where a Beechcraft instructional flight either had fuel pump problems, the NTSB obviously is looking into it, or they may have just simply run out of gas, but they made an emergency crash landing on the I-95 and landed atop an SUV. What's going on? 842-5376, our phone number, 842-KERN. What's popping?
Someone with a suggestion that we should call Rick and see if Bentley wants to do it.
Rick Bentley would be eager to do it as well. That's not a bad suggestion. That's not a bad suggestion. In the meantime, let's play this package. This is the situation down in Florida.
This morning, witnesses telling their story after a terrifying moment on I-95 in Central Florida.
A plane just crashed onto a highway. On a highway.
Watch as a small plane seems to lose power in both engines before dropping quickly and making an emergency landing, crashing right on top of this car.
And all of a sudden, the front wheel hit the car, just came crashing down, sparks flying, debris everywhere.
The plane skidding to a stop after slamming into the median, the tail blocking traffic coming the other way. The driver, a 57-year-old woman, emerging from her crushed Toyota Camry.
I don't know what God is good. Just know God is good.
Pastor Bernard Wigley and his wife Annie were among the first on the scene.
It was so bad that it was the only place that she could have survived. If she had had other passengers, they would have all been smashed.
Watch as Annie, a trained nurse, jumps over the median to offer help.
She was dazed at first. She didn't even notice the airplane that was right in front of the car, what hit her. She thought a semi-truck hit her.
The woman, covered with broken glass, was miraculously treated for only minor injuries. The pilot and passenger, both 27 years old, were not injured. Those on the ground just thankful to be in the right place at the right time.
Just a few seconds earlier or later with that airplane, it could have been a major, major catastrophe.
And thank you all for being the people who rushed to help.
Yes,
That was amazing. Yes. Pastor Bernard calling it divine appointment. The plane had been in the air for more than 1 hour, an instructional flight really, when it suffered catastrophic engine issues. The FAA and the NTSB are now investigating.
Yeah, I think it was a fuel pump, but what do I know? But it really is a miracle, because when you see the video tonight or tomorrow morning or whatever, there is a gap. Just a natural gap between the car that they hit and the cars that were coming up on the accident. And had traffic been heavier, Lord knows, and as I said earlier, had there been an overpass like there is on the 405 and like there is right here on the 99, we've got a couple of overpasses, there would have been a huge explosion. It's just a miracle. And did you hear the bite? The pastor, who was one of the first people on scene, and they had to bleep out what he said. The pastor was so taken aback. He was starting cursing, and then you could kind of hear him say, just know that God is good all the time. God is good. Be happy because your ass is alive. And she didn't even know that she got hit by a plane. That must be unbelievable. I mean, there is a God. That's the only thing you can say. And he's right. The pastor's right. God is good all the time. Let's go ahead and take a break. We come back. I've got some miscellaneous news and notes to get into. We'll recap our top story of the day. The Cleveland Press is trying desperately to get Shedeur Sanders to talk about Kevin Stefanski. And have you heard the most recent conspiracy theory on why Stefanski
doesn't like Shedeur?
Yes.
No, what's this now?
I will tell you after the break. It's a great story. I don't know if it's accurate, but it's a great story. I'll tell you when we come back. It's the Ralph Daily Show. News Talk 96.1, AM 1180, KRN, streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Thursday edition of the First Look program, I will continue my list of excellent reasons why I should be the next chief of police here in Bakersfield. We've got another story of drunks on cruise ships. You never tire of those. We've got news, we've got traffic, we've got weather. Right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on the World Wide Web at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hope you join us every Thursday, particularly at 4:30, when Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors joins us. Daniel gives us a weekly update on the deficit and its growth. We look at silver and gold and obviously the stock market and all kind of economic issues that most importantly impact you. But again, you guys know what Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors are all about. They're all about retirement. I keep telling you guys, it's one of the smartest moves that I've ever made financially. Call Daniel at 395-9400, 395-9400. if retirement is in your near future. Or just tune in Thursdays at 4:30 when he joins us every week. Daniel Petrie and the folks at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only. Does not constitute a solicitation or offer to buy or sell any security, future, option, or other financial instrument, or to offer or provide any investment advisory or other services to any person in any jurisdiction by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Inc., DBA Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. Any views expressed in this broadcast by us are prepared based upon the information available to us at the time, and we are under no obligation to update our views.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-399-7272. 800-399-7272. Again, that's 800-399-7272.
Are the rising waters of expenses and debt threatening to drown you? Many people try to stay afloat by borrowing more money or using debt settlement programs, but those can take years. If you're trapped under credit card debt, medical bills, payday loans, or buy now, pay later plans, Chapter 7 bankruptcy could free you much sooner, in about 4 months and for a fraction of the cost. Stop the harassing calls and letters, rebuild your credit quickly, and clear the way for a fresh start. At Clean Slate BK Group, consumer Chapter 7 bankruptcies are all we do. We can help you erase credit card debt, medical bills, personal loans, even past due utility bills. Find out if you qualify at no cost and with no obligation. Go to csbk.com. This is an attorney advertisement. Your results may vary, and prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Clean Slate BK Group PC, located at 7 Penn Plaza, Suite 601, New York, 10001, is responsible for the content of this ad. For more information, visit csbk.com. That's csbk.com. Your clean slate starts here.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERF.
Let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. Oh. Let the good times roll. All right, so to get into the Kevin Stefanski story, we got to get in the Wayback Machine. And we've got to go back to circa 1992. When Deion Sanders is playing for the Atlanta Braves, or was he playing for the Reds at that point? I think he was playing with the Braves at that point, and then he got traded to the Reds later on. Excuse me. And if you're old, Chris doesn't remember this because he was barely being born, but maybe he does through clips. Tim McCarver was a catcher for the St. Louis Cardinals. He was Bob Gibson's guy. Bob Gibson, much like Clayton Kershaw had Austin Barnes, Gibson wouldn't pitch without McCarver. And they were very close friends. And I don't know if McCarver's still alive, but they were until Gibson's death. And McCarver was at the time, in the 90s and the 80s, he was one of the best color guys in baseball. And so the Braves win, I think that's when they won their only World Series, or maybe it was one of the division titles, but whatever. They're celebrating in the locker room. And McCarver had criticized Deion Sanders for trying to do both, where he literally took a helicopter on a Saturday night to play baseball and then flew out Saturday to go play football on Sunday. And McCarver was incredibly critical that he was letting down his football team, that you can't divide your attention. It's not one of those sports. And he said he's also screwing the baseball team because Bobby Cox doesn't know whether he's available or boop, 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 boop. He just was critical of it. So Dion, during the celebration, everybody's pouring champagne on everybody and beers and whatnot. We've seen it for 2 years. Championship Dodgers. Thank you very much. Dion gets ice buckets of water and starts throwing it on McCarver as he's interviewing his teammates. And there's that famous tete-a-tete they have where McCarver goes, "You feel like a big man now, don't you, Dion? I'm sitting here vulnerable, trying to do an interview, just trying to do my job." And I mean, he threw like 3 or 4 buckets on him. It wasn't like one bucket of water. He was like, "Screw this guy, I'm going to get him." And he threw like 3, and then he scurried away. And that's the famous quote, "You feel like a big man now, do you, Dion?" Well, let's fast forward to the 21st century. Tim McCarver is whose grandfather?
Oh, shut up. No way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Stefanski's grandfather?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He was 10 years old.
This thing stems back to something between Dion and his grandpa.
Well, that's the think about it.
No, I get it.
If he had done that to Charlie Bailey,
oh no, I get it.
I'd throw blows. I literally, if I was 10 years old and somebody did that to Charlie Bailey, my grandfather, when I became a grown-ass man, I'd been like, "Come on, Dion. You don't know it, but that's my grandfather you were pouring that ice water on, and he gone, but I'm going to get some payback for my grandfather. Let's go. Let's go. I don't care. You're an athlete and I'm younger, but that'll make it even. So let's go. We're going to throw some hands." And that's the theory. And I mean, it makes sense.
It totally makes sense.
I don't know if it's true.
That would be some other level world of petty.
I don't know. That's why I just said what I just said. I don't know if it's petty. I don't know if it's petty.
I don't know if you can blame
you dogs my grandfather. Payback
on the son. What did he do? He didn't punk the bucket of water.
Your daddy did it to my granddaddy, so now I'm gonna take it out on you.
No one wasn't even born yet.
No, he wasn't. He really wasn't. I saw that and I was just like, "You gotta be kidding
God,
me."
if that's true though, like if that's the reason, that would be just otherworldly, just ridiculous.
You think the Cleveland media have the balls to ask him?
No,
because this has to be. I saw it on.
Maybe
it's not even true because I saw it on the internet.
I feel like
it could be. This could be made up for all we know. You know how the internet is, but that's what I saw on the internet last night.
This is all going to come to a head after he's fired and like a year or two down the line when he's being interviewed by some podcaster and he asks, "Why'd you do it?" And then he'll give the actual reason. But if that ends up being the reason,
well, he'd never admit it.
No.
He'd never admit it. Oh, no, I forgot about that years ago. I forgot about that when I was 10.
Or at least a professional would never admit it, but
I'd admit it. I'd be like, "You damn right."
Especially with
everybody dogged my granddaddy.
Everybody's calling for him to never coach in the NFL again, just solely based on how he's handling this right now.
The whole organization, the general manager, they make Jimmy Haslam, who is not a very well respected owner, they make him look good.
Really
They're so stupid. The general manager and the coach, they make him look intelligent because apparently he was the only one in the organization that wanted this kid, Shador. But I almost fell out of my bed last night when I saw that's Tim McCarver is Kevin Stefanski's granddaddy.
The full circleness that life
ain't
can
that
give
crazy?
You.
Ain't that crazy?
I would laugh if that's the reason. All of this is based off something Dion did back in '92.
I love that story.
Oh my God.
I love that story. I really do. And then you tack on, all the kind of outlying factors.
Yeah.
I think the fact that CU put Shador in the Hall of Fame when there are a lot of good players that aren't in the CU Hall of Fame.
Their national championship team isn't even recognized.
Ty Detmer was at BYU. But and I do think that Shador kind of half-assed his interviews
See, that's the thing, though, because I heard Rich Eisen speak on this as well, but his relationship with the media right now, just handling the questions he has, makes me feel like that was all a lie. Like all these people were just talking ill about Shador just because maybe they didn't like Dion, or maybe it was true that they just wanted to stick it to the Sanders family.
Well, did you see the other video of Dion watching the game in the booth where there's a penalty, and everybody's like, "Oh no, it's on us," and Dion's like, "No, it's not. He hit the quarterback." Talking about his son. He hit the quarterback. That's on them. Y'all need to calm down. Y'all programmed for negative. And everybody starts cracking up. It was pretty funny. But
do you think if Cleveland does fire Stefanski, though, they'll reach out to Dion and see if he wants to come coach his son again?
See, that's what I thought it was about. That's what I thought it was about. I thought it was about job security.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the fact that they're going to bring this kid in, and inevitably, eventually, they're going to bring his daddy in to coach him, who's coached him. This is the first time in his life that Dion hasn't coached him, literally. Coached him. Have you seen some of the videos of when he was young and stuff? When he was in high school? Dion is, excuse me, I've got enough gas to drive home. Dion is coached him his whole life. I don't know.
I don't know if that's a positive thing, like, to keep that going. I mean, like, to bring him in and just do it again. I don't think he'd develop as well as he would with somebody else.
And that CU program's going nowhere. They fell off a cliff with Travis and Shador and Shiloh all leaving. Well, they get 3 wins this season?
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, that's too bad. But they're filling the place, and he's definitely put a whole new feeling in Boulder, Colorado. Beautiful, beautiful community. I've been there several times. Final half hour of the broadcast. I'd stick around if I you.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says the United States has seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela as tensions mount with the government of President Nicolas Maduro. Using U.S. forces to take control of a merchant ship is incredibly unusual and marks the Trump administration's latest push to increase pressure on Maduro. The Trump administration is adding another militarized zone to the southern U.S. border to support border security operations, this time in California. The Department of Interior on Wednesday said it would transfer jurisdiction along most of California's international border with Mexico to the Navy. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 497 points, the Nasdaq rose 77, the S&P advanced 46. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. You likely will not get a decision anytime soon from the Kern County Board of Education on whether the 10 Commandments can be displayed in some schools in an historical context. KGET reports the board is waiting for further precedent before making a decision. A semi-truck driver died in a wreck this morning on Highway 58 east of Tehachapi, says the Highway Patrol. That wreck happened just before 8 a.m. when the truck hit the center divide and crashed. The name of the person killed is not being released publicly yet. California's gas prices are falling, but at $4.38 on average for a gallon of regular, according to Gas Buddy, the prices are still the highest in the country. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
And we're back. Another commercial for California Fruit Depot.
Cal Fruit Depot.
First, it needs to be said that a lot of listeners are complaining that you're not pulling your own weight on these commercials.
Wait, this is a 1-minute podcast. I'll leave with that. Now back to you.
If you're wearing a jacket and you're hearing this commercial, come on out to California Fruit Depot. Come on out and see us.
Not Christmas.
Oranges.
It's a jacket special.
Dates, shakes, smoothies, all those things. They're available.
What
Come
else
on out.
do
You
you
can
have?
ship them to family and friends all over the country.
Shipping available.
Another thing I like to talk about is getting a jingle. We need a jingle.
We do need
All
a
musicians, bands.
saying
Hey, if you got
Kathy and
AI
Teresa.
capabilities, send us an AI commercial
Submit it.
for California Fruit Depot. Has to be radio friendly.
Ooh, California Fruit Depot.
Got your
What do they
citrus.
say?
Got your nuts.
Come get some dates. Come get your dates.
Send your jingle to citrusjinglecontest@gmail.com and come out to California Fruit Depot. Google us for directions, or you can visit us online at calfruitdepot.com.
Thursday edition, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton show as we continue to move you closer and closer to the holiday. That means no healthcare fraud. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, they're having a hearing on healthcare fraud. He will join us to break all that down and more. Plus, we'll give you the latest on Venezuela and other aspects of the Trump 2.0 agenda as they come available. All that and more you won't want to miss it. Come hang with us on Clay and Buck.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I need to vote on it. Yeah. So I woke up this morning and perused through my ESPN app, as I am wont to do, just to make sure there are no big sports stories that get by me. And I saw that Sharon Moore, the head coach at University of Michigan, had been fired. And I was all ready to get all indignant. Why are they firing a brother who was 9-3? What's that all about? And then I found out it's complicated.
Oh, it's very complicated.
Please explain.
So, for those of you who don't know, Mr. Moore took over for Jim Harbaugh a couple years ago after Harbaugh took the job with the LA Chargers. He's had a few things that he's already had to deal with, a couple suspensions and whatnot due to the sign stealing scandal and all of that. So, everybody's kind of already had their eyes on this guy for a while. Now, how true all of this is, I'm not 100% sure yet, because like Ralph says, usually the most misinformation stuff you can find is the stuff that's initially said.
Right.
So this is all coming from, well, one of Ralph's favorite, Mr. Emmanuel Acho, who went to his, I don't know, he went to his social media and commented on this. Apparently,
admire him though.
Yeah.
If he hit,
he got with
Joy Taylor.
Taylor, so he's obviously doing something right.
Yeah, he must be. Well, that's beside the point. Anyway.
Anyways, so Mr. Acho went on his social media as well and claimed that apparently all this is stemming towards Mr. Moore promoting a female staffer up to essentially his assistant, being in a relationship with that woman, getting her pregnant, paying for an abortion, and now getting caught by the University of Michigan, as the two have obviously been doing this probably for some time. And also, Mr. Moore is married with 3 kids of his own.
39 years old.
And
his whole world has been turned upside down.
And
his
now,
marriage is over, his kids hate him, and his career is over.
Absolutely. And now ESPN is also reporting that some police out in the Michigan area have actually detained him as he has threatened his own life and is obviously having a meltdown from all of this coming out at this time. So
Sharon Moore was detained by police in Saline, Michigan on Wednesday and was later turned over to a second area police department for investigation into potential charges. Quote, the city of Saline Police Department assisted in locating and detaining former University of Michigan football coach Sharon Moore. Mr. Moore was turned over to the Pittsfield Township Police Department for investigation into potential charges. UM head football coach Sharon Moore has been terminated with cause effective immediately, the school said in a statement. Following a university investigation, credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. The conduct constitutes a clear violation of university policy, and UM maintains zero tolerance for such behavior.
Now, the one thing that I find weird about this is, one, he's getting arrested with potential charges for this because, as far as I'm aware, adultery isn't something that you could be arrested for.
Well, no, I thought Randall said he was going to take his
Right.
He was going to
But
kill
that's the other
himself.
thing, is you don't necessarily arrest someone for that either.
But you can hold them, and you can keep them on a 72-hour hold.
Right. But
The
this
police
is
can
saying
do
that there are charges pending, right? There are some charges that might be filed.
I think they're just assuming that. I don't think there are any charges that they can file against.
That's
the
the
guy.
one that doesn't make sense to me,
Unless he did it in front of his kids.
Yes.
You know, if
or
he did the Zach Scribner and was waving a gun around in front of his kids, and they had to subdue him or talk him off the ledge. You get him for child cruelty or.
Well, the thing that I find weird here is that they haven't mentioned who the staffer is by name or how old they are.
Well, she's got to be 18. She's in college.
But is it illegal for somebody like a staffer to have a relationship with a student? Do you see what I'm getting at here?
No, that's not. It's against policy.
They wouldn't get.
But there's
charged.
no statute that says
okay.
we'll
Well,
throw you in jail if you sleep with one of your students.
That's the only reason I'm thinking here, because I can't see why they would charge him with anything. But
no, I knew a professor at CSUB who I think you might have had, but I'll tell you about it later.
Oh God,
who was stooping many of his former students, and I heard the rumor. We were pretty good friends. And did you have AA?
Shut up! Really?
Oh, dude.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He comes.
You know what?
He comes from huge money.
Yeah.
His
And not to mention,
parents.
he's very articulate and very just.
He's a pretty boy. He's a good-looking
yeah.
dude, and he drives a big old Mercedes, or he did back when I was
very intelligent
around
man
that
too.
campus.
Could see it.
And his family, he comes from huge money, and so finally we became pretty close. And I asked him about it. I said, there are rumors that are rampant among the students in the communications department that you hang out with some of your students. And he said, Ralph, not my current students. Never with the student in my class. That's all I'll say. That's all he said. And so there's no law against it. Now, if it got back to Arciniega, the then president, while I was there, yeah, it's against policy.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But there's no statute. And I'm not even sure, if you got tenure, I'm not even sure they'd whack you for sleeping with an ex-student. Now, if it's somebody if it's currently going on while they're in the class and they get preferential treatment, that's a whole different deal, and happens to be a really funny 2.5 Men episode. You ever seen that one?
I'm trying to remember.
Miss Pasternak, where Charlie sleeps with what's the kid's name?
Oh God, the kid's name was Alan's the brother,
and Jake.
Jake is the name.
Jake.
Yes.
Charlie starts sleeping with Miss Pasternak, who is Jake's teacher. I think he's in like 4th, 5th, 6th grade, something like that. And at first, Alan is livid. And then all of a sudden, the kid, who's an idiot, and I hate the way they depict that kid as an idiot. Like, why can't television? I guess it's funny.
He smartens up the older he gets, though.
No, he doesn't.
He kind of does.
He goes into the army and he's dating like a 40-year-old woman, and he gets his life straight. He becomes a chef, I guess.
Yeah.
But
no,
he was just an idiot.
You know what's funny is King of the Hill went the same route with Bobby Hill when they brought that show back too.
Yeah, I guess it's funnier if you're stupid. But so Alan is upset about it at first, and then the kids start getting A's, and Alan's like, well, it is what it is. Do what you got to do, Charlie. And then, of course, it stops, and it's kind of a funny episode. 8425376. Well, I don't know. I was just saying crudely, and I forgot I had my mic on, but it is amazing what some men will do to find a woman or get some strange.
Why is it always the person that's right next to you, too? Like
convenience.
Yeah,
Same thing with Bill Clinton. Same thing with Dr. King.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up.
Convenience. It's convenience. You can't. Where's Bill Clinton going to meet some woman that he can have an affair with?
True.
You know what I'm saying? But
True.
you can sneak your intern in, tell the Secret Service, I need to talk to this young intern for 20 minutes, and don't come in here. And you tell your secretary, don't bother me for the next 20 minutes. I'm in here with Miss Lewinsky. going over some things with her. Don't bother me. And you're the president of the United States. Ain't nobody coming in. And that's when he splooged all over her dress, apparently. That's when I lost. That's when I began to move away from the Democratic Party. When Bill Clinton disgraced, I mean, we talk about Trump and his behavior, but he never had oral sex in the Oval Office. Like, you're a bad man. How can you concentrate? You're in the room where John Adams rested, Thomas Jefferson, his hero, John Kennedy, and you're like, that's just for the YouTubers.
Lord.
That's crazy. It's insane.
No, it is. It's absolutely crazy.
Do we have a consensus on tomorrow's host?
Well, we got a mix of votes here, to be honest. I feel like we got to go to the YouTube chant as well, because I'm sure there's a couple people in there voting. But Rick Bentley has a couple votes here. I got one to bring in the judge. So I believe that'd be Terry Golden.
And I've got one judge over here, and
So
I've got
two.
a Bentley over here as well.
That's a 3-2 Bentley right now. I hear one for 49 Larry.
49 Larry's not showing his face. He's not calling this show after he...
Also, he lives in Arizona, doesn't he?
I don't know. But after his prediction that we were going to lose...
This is true.
We haven't heard from him. Where you been, Larry? I know you're listening.
Oh, don't call that one. He'll be calling in right now.
No, don't. Larry, don't call. Don't call. Well, I say we call Rick Bentley.
I think Bentley will do good.
All right, call him.
I call him right now?
Yeah. Why not? Put him on standby. Because, again, I'm starting to feel better. And I think a good night's sleep, I'll be fine. I'll just tell him, can you be on standby? And I'll let you know by like 7 o'clock when I wake up. I'll know as soon as I wake up how I'm feeling. And I'm guessing I'll be fine. I think a good night's sleep, a little NyQuil, and Dr. Cothery's got me on antibiotics. I should be all right by tomorrow. I think, is the worst of it. You know how colds are. They're like 3 days. The first day is when you realize you got a cold. What number did you call? And then the second day is normally the worst day. And then the third day, you're kind of on the mend. And Stephen Nicholas, Sparky, had it. And he said it lasted about 3 days. So I started having a scratchy throat on like Monday.
I messed up, put a 3 when I was supposed to put a 9.
Yeah. Rick Bentley were contacted.
Hello?
Mr. Bentley, it's the Ralph Bailey Show, so please don't curse.
Okay.
I need a gargantuan favor from you, sir.
Sure, I'll be doing it tomorrow.
You've been listening?
Yeah, of course I listen to your show.
I did not know that.
It's mandatory.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, we just want to put you on standby because if I get a good night's sleep, I'm on my antibiotics. I'll let you know by 7 a.m. Is that cool?
Yeah, let me ask you one other quick thing.
Yes.
Would you prefer to keep me on standby for Friday? Because if you're on tomorrow, you probably okay.
I should be fine by Friday.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to linger that long. I think I'll be okay tomorrow, to be honest with you.
Well, I hope you are, but if you're not, count on me. I'll come in.
You're official. You won you won the poll, the unofficial poll. The listeners love you.
It was funny. I almost called you because it's like you're naming all these people, and I thought, well, what about me? And then suddenly, somebody other than you put my name into that. So thank you.
Well, because of all the people, you're the busiest.
This is true.
Like
yeah.
Kathy runs her own business, and Teresa is just consulting with Klein, Timatelli, and Goldner. And you're the busiest of all of our hosts. That's the only reason.
I will always make time for you.
I appreciate that, sir. I appreciate that.
Just let me know. Let me know if you need me.
I will. Thank you. I'll let you know by 7, 8 o'clock. No question.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Rick Bentley, RB. He's a good dude. Really good dude. I ran into him at the I was coming back from the KCCD office. I was walking, and I ran into him at the Ramco. He was filling his gas. Anyway, let me shut up. Let's go ahead and take a final break of the night, and not a minute too soon, boy, I'll tell you. What do you think of the chances I show up tomorrow?
At this point, 60-40.
I think that's a pretty good. I even put it 70-30. Starting to feel a little better, but oh boy, I went in and laid down in our green room, and God, that felt good. My back is all sore. It's like right down the spine, you know? I haven't eaten in 2 days. I tried to knock down a Bonnie's Best egg salad sandwich. Half of it is sitting on my cocktail table as we speak. And I should have left my heat on. I turned the heat off. But for the first 20 minutes in my house when I get home, I'm just like this. Just like this. And then I'll take off the jacket and I'll probably sleep in this hoodie. By the way, have you seen my hoodie? Goes along with my Garces beanie. My Garces beanie and my Garces hoodie. It's the Ralph Bailey Show. Keep it locked. Charlie Kirk at the top of the hour. Tomorrow, perhaps Rick Bentley. But if not, me at 3, along with Mike Turnipseed and Daniel Petrie. And why do I think there's somebody else? No. Final time out. Keep it locked. It's the Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1, AM 1180, KERN. We're streaming live, KernRadio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Thursday edition of the First Look program, I will continue my list of excellent reasons why I should be the next chief of police here in Bakersfield. We've got another story of drunks on cruise ships. You never tire of those. We've got news, we've got traffic, we've got weather. Right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on the World Wide Web at KernRadio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's a winter wonderland of sweets at DeWars. See the spectacular twinkling Christmas lights and enjoy festive decorations and hot chocolate from November 3rd through January 5th. Treat your family to handmade candies and holiday ice cream flavors. Write your letters to Santa starting November 29th, every Saturday and Sunday from 4 to 8 p.m. until Christmas.
You want to bust out these promos real quick?
Yeah. And I've got enough gas to drive to Pittsburgh. It's that milk. What do we do today? 3-2. So there's this Cleveland theory that the reason Kevin Stefanski hates Shedeur Sanders is Dion in the 90s when he was playing baseball and football was throwing water on Tim McGraw, a 90s commentator who criticized Dion for playing two sports. Well, that's Kevin Stefanski's grandfather. And Cleveland media is connecting the two events. That is I don't know if it's true, but that's a great story. 3-2. It's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Thursday TRBS. Well, it may be Rick Bentley hosting, but regardless, Mike Turnipseed from Current Tax will be here, along with our money man, Daniel Petrie, commenting on the lower interest rates. All that, and perhaps me at 3. It's TRBS, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Whoo!
You can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-399-7272. 800-399-7272. Again, that's 800-399-7272.
The holiday season is all about food, family, and keeping traditions alive, and Smith's Bakery has been doing just that since 1945. No holiday is complete without Smith's signature cookies like smiley faces, Christmas trees, and candy canes. And before those family gatherings, don't forget to pick up your special order Christmas decorated cake, a signature champagne cake, or a fresh pumpkin or pecan pie. And for Christmas morning, there's nothing better than a warm cup of cocoa with a cream cheese coffee cake or beehive. Make your holidays a little sweeter with Smith's Bakery with 8 convenient locations.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KER.
Remember Central Park? I've been to Central Park when I was 69, like 7, 8 years old. And there are pictures my mom has of me and my dad at Central Park. But I don't remember that. But I do remember Piedmont Park. That was my second date place.
Second date place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I would. My first date place was the Blue Parrot. It's a great restaurant with jazz, with a live jazz band.
Okay.
That was my go-to first date. And my second date go-to was a picnic at Piedmont Park. It's just a gorgeous park. And we had a really nice apartment when I was living with Danny, the late Danny Gunn, who unfortunately succumbed to heart disease. And we could see Piedmont Park from our apartment. And it is massive and it's gorgeous. And there is a delicatessen right near Piedmont Park. So I would go and get like a lunch. And they had Lowenbrau on tap. And I fell in love with Lowenbrau Dark. And they sold it in like gallons. You literally would take like a gallon container and just pour it off the spig. And I was so stupid as a young kid. I thought black girls don't really drink beer. Women don't really drink a lot of beer, although I know a lot of girls in this town that drink beer, but black girls don't really drink beer. You know, they're more of a cocktail deal. Let's read a couple of text messages and get me this hell out of here.
Hey, Ralph, the high pressure system, which holds the fog in the valley like a lid, also keeps clouds and wind away from the mountain areas like Tehachapi.
70 degrees today in Tehachapi. It's the only time I've ever wanted to be in Tehachapi. No, I love Tehachapi. I really do. I have a lot of friends up there. I love that area. I really do. It's beautiful. I don't know why I don't go up there more. They have all kind of wine things, and David Brust is a former Tehachapi resident, and I know some people that live up there. It really is beautiful. I've always wondered why the high school will not mow their field. You ever been on that field?
Oh, I played on that field many times.
Have you really?
Oh, yeah.
Where you can't see your shoes?
Oh, yeah.
Do they do that to like slow people down?
Absolutely.
Is that what it is?
That's what I always said, but I mean, they
thought.
never admit that.
The grass, you literally can't see your laces. The grass is so high. It's crazy. What else you got?
Rick Bentley could do a year in review on entertainment.
Well, let's don't blow our wad in the early part of December. Let's wait till the end of the year. And by the way, I meant to ask this. Is it time to start telling people? Somebody told me this morning, Merry Christmas. Is it time?
You mean Christmas music?
No, to say Merry Christmas, Chris.
I would think so. Yeah, we're about 15 days away.
15 days? Yeah. I guess
out?
inside of 2 weeks, you start saying it. So but I'm not wearing my Santa hat because what is Christmas Eve is a Wednesday?
Correct.
So I'll start wearing my Santa hat
Monday?
that Monday. Yeah. I love my Santa hat. And I'm really excited. I've got my my light beads I'm going to wear this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You haven't seen that?
I don't think so, no.
It's a colorful stream of
Christmas lights that you can turn on?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it turns on. And I think it flickers.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
I can't remember.
I've seen a couple like that, so it wouldn't surprise me at all.
The last time I was going to wear them was 3 years ago when we were supposed to be in the parade?
Yep.
And we got bounced out and they went with the parade anyway.
2-3 years ago, I think.
Yeah. I think it was either 2. I think it was 3. Yeah.
You're right. I think it was 3. I think.
Yeah,
right.
because the drunkard was in court this week. And so it's been 3 years. The guy that ruined the parade and then gets a DUI like 2 or 3 months later.
Throw the book at him.
No kidding. That's the issue with drunk driving, that we won't throw these people in jail. I've talked about this many times as an offender back in 2006, but still, I believe first offense, maybe give them a week or 2. You don't want to ruin people's careers and lives. But then second offense, 6 months in jail. 6 months. Have a taste of jail. You know what I'm saying? One more and I'm out.
That's actually all we got.
All right. I think I'll be all right. I'm starting to feel better just in the last hour since I laid down in the green room. But if not, Mr. Bentley will take you the way, along with Mike Turnipseed and Daniel Petrie on Jerome Powell's decision to drop interest rates. Want to thank Chad Hathaway, James Miller. James, a point guard for Bakersfield College. We talked about name, image, and likeness coming to BC. Thanks to Chad Hathaway and some of his business partners who are raising money to give a little love to our athletes up in the Northeast. And, of course, our good friend Howard Marcus. In the meantime, for Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. I hope I wrap to you tomorrow.
This is AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump said Wednesday the U.S. has seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela amid mounting tensions with the government of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
See you guys. Hope I see you tomorrow.
Correspondent Bernie Bennett reports.
President Trump did not immediately offer additional details.
You'll discuss that with the appropriate people.